Now the ball is spotted on the far hash of the 22. Kason Witt working with Theo Black, another wide receiver that is playing in his final game for Bluefield College today. Remember that game last week against Pikeville? Unfortunately for the Rams, it was an exciting game, just didn't get out on the right end of it. And for Bluefield, it was really good to see the offense clicking on all cylinders, and it was nice to see Kason Witt just have a career day. Yeah, Kason Witt did really well escaping the pressure, moving the ball upfield on his feet, and also throwing the ball through the air. He had a really efficient game last week, and we can't forget Malik Brown on the ground also providing that part of this offense. They both had a really good day last week. Now, unfortunately for Bluefield, seeing Tyrese Henry getting helped off of the field, and he is really favoring that left leg. So that'll be tough for Bluefield, a tough pill to swallow for them. As now Bluefield lines up 1st and 10 now at their own 22-yard line. Kason Witt lining up in the gun with Alex Martin, the senior from Dobson, North Carolina, to his left. One receiver on the far end and 3 receivers positioned out left. To play action, Witt throws over the middle. It is bobbled and dropped by Bluefield that time. Rams looking for a pass to throw over the middle. That's Anton Wade. Haven't said much about Wade this year, actually, on the defensive side for Bluefield, so now it'll be 2nd down and 10. Yeah, that wasn't a perfect pass there by Kason Witt, but it was catchable. Wade just drops it, and they'll have to try for this 1st down again. Second play of the game, 2nd down. Handoff, Alex Martin stood up at the line of scrimmage and falls forward for about 2 yards to the 24-yard line. As for this point defense, Josh, who do we have to look out for today? On the point defense, some of the leaders on the defense is defensive back Isaiah McFarland, 5 interceptions on the year for 139 yards, and D lineman Craig Jennings, 9 sacks on the season, totaling 45.5 yards. So now 3rd and 9 from the 24. A handoff up the middle to Alex Martin, crosses the 25, wrestles for a few, but he's going to be well short. It's only a gain of 4 up to the 28-yard line. The defensive back swallowing in on Alex Martin, and now it'll be 4th down, and we'll see another senior for Bluefield come out to play. It's Drake Presley. Yeah, Drake Presley, very consistent punter for the Rams. He's averaging around 30 yards per kick, but some of his kicks are really long. They really put the Rams in good field position, and we'll see what he can do here to start the game off. Now Chase Turner, the punt returner for this point team, back at his own 35-yard line. Drake Presley lining up with an offset snap to the right, but he gets off a punt anyway, and it's a low spiraling punt that takes a Bluefield roll right to Chase Turner. He spun out, Rams wrestle him down, and it's Sean Kolb that takes down the Seahawks, or rather the Skyhawks returner, back to the 35-yard line, and that is where point will start on their first drive here in the first quarter. Still scoreless, 0-0 with 13:34 left. So now for point, this is a team last week that lost to Union. And remember, that's a team that Bluefield beat by a lot, 58-21. They almost scored 60 points for the first time in history. So now the Rams, they have to look to make some sort of defensive adjustments here and maybe force a few turnovers. Yeah, and with the quarterback playing, he had Derek Bellard has 12 picks on the season. He might throw a couple more tonight. That'll be something to watch out for. Only 6 touchdowns for him as well. They spotted at the 37 on 1st and 10. Handoff straight up the middle, and he'll dive across the 40 up to the 41-yard line. That's Colby Williams. Small running back, just a sophomore, averaging 29 yards per game. And after a gain of 4, it'll be 2nd down and 6 with a running clock, 13:20. And talking about trying to get those interceptions with Tyrese Henry going down, it's going to be important for senior Isaiah Fenner to step up and hopefully get a pick in this game. Tyrese Henry not on the field right now as Jonathan Green lines up at the safety, as does Phil Tyler. It's a direct snap, diving forward up to the 44-yard line. It was a high snap that time as well. And now for point, they're going to be about 3 yards short of the line to gain. And that snap looked sort of unexpected. It hit the ball carrier in the chest before eventually bouncing into his hands. It looked like he didn't expect that ball to come that soon. So Derek Bellard lining up as the quarterback. Colby Williams, the running back, on his left. 3rd down and 3 from the 44-yard line. Rams showing 3 men on the line of scrimmage, and now an audible called by point, looking to that far sideline. Clock is running down to 12:25, looking for the first down of the ball game. Sean Cole, watch out for him on the near side. Play clock down to 5, now 4. Bellard still taking his time. It's at 1 and just gets it off. Bellard drops back, throws over the middle, and it's overthrown. Intended for Marquez Jackson that time, the leading wide receiver for the Skyhawks, and Jonathan Green was providing the pressure. So now 4th down and 3, and it's the first time we're going to see a punt from point.
And it looked like on that play, Marquez Jackson had a little bit of room. He had a step on his defender. The throw wasn't there. Marquez Jackson averaging 27.3 yards in each game with 273 yards total and a touchdown. They'll be looking to go to him tonight.
So now the punter, Ned Ailes, gets a left-footed punt off to Theo Black, who's going to watch it bounce on the near sideline and picks it up at the 15. Toe taps his way out of bounds, close to the Rams' 20-yard line. Theo Black, the senior, trying to roll the dice here, playing in his last ever football game. His family making the trip up from Orlando, Florida, and they're going to spot him very close to the 20, and that's where Bluefield will start their second drive here. Well, the Rams just have to wake up as far as their offense goes, and that took a little bit for that to happen in the game against Pikeville. It certainly happened for Bluefield. Unfortunately, the defense couldn't hold strong, but we're going to have to see if Kaysen Witt can try to line up another good drive. Jaquan Ebron, Theo Black lining up on the far side of the field. And 2 receivers bunched to the right. Antonio Strickland leading the way. Shotgun snap on 1st down and 10. A handoff straight up the gut to Alex Martin. Will flop up to the 24-yard line. And Alex Martin, we haven't seen Malik Brown yet, but Alex Martin, one of the guys that's been around for Bluefield. Former first-team All-Conference. He was an offensive MVP when the Rams hadn't really found a way to win. And now with this pass defense developing, he's been taken out of the equation, but you're seeing in his last game, he's getting more touches. 2nd and 4, or 2nd and 6 rather, and another handoff to Alex Martin, this time on the right side. Nowhere to go, stood up at the 26-yard line. Leading the way, it's the linebacker Cameron Weems.
Again, Alex Martin.
And now it'll be 3rd down and a manageable distance. Spotting the ball, no huddle for Bluefield, about to line up again at the 27-yard line.
And linebacker Cameron Weems for the Skyhawks, leading the team in tackles with 57 tackles this year, wraps up Alex Martin there, who the Rams are trying to get involved early in the game.
3rd down and 4 from the 27. Witt back to throw. Pocket collapsing, and he's sacked. Coming off of the edge for point, it's Trenton Stringer, and it's the first sack of the ball game, going for the 2-8 Skyhawks, and the Rams are once again forced into 3 and out with under 11 minutes to play in the first.
And don't let that 2-win record fool you about point. Their defense, they have a very quality defense over there on the Georgia team. They held Reinhardt to what usually not a big point total, 28 points. But for Reinhardt, that's a very small point total.
It's a high snap to Presley, but he reels it in, and the Southwest Virginia native booms a low punt. Back to Chase Turner, catches it at his own 47. Now room to run at the near sideline. Stutter step move into Bluefield territory across the 40 and pushing and shoving out of bounds. No flags, though. Chase Turner, a cavalier move there to take it inside of the Bluefield 40-yard line. He probably would have just let that ball roll if he was smart about it, but instead tried to take it to the house, and he'll get inside the 40, a 1st and 10 for Derek Bellard and this team from West Point, Georgia.
Yeah, that was a big gamble by Turner there. We've seen him do things like that already in this game. On the first one, trying to reverse field and go back to the left side, and on that one, picking up the low bounce. He's daring to go to the end zone in today's game.
So now 1st and 10, they'll spot him at the 37-yard line. Definitely a generous spot as Bellard lines up with Cole Williams to his left. Has 2 receivers on the left as well as one on the short side of the field. Ball's at the right hash with 10:21 left in the first quarter, still scoreless. A delayed handoff to Colby Williams, who tries to plug his way for a few yards last week because of that ejection against Union. And it's good to see Bluefield. Well, they're spotted at the 34, in the gun again, 2 receivers left. 6, 33-yard line.
And they're pushing the tempo a little bit, trying to.
Under 10 minutes left to play. 4th down and from the 33. Bellard calling a hard snap count. This would be about a 50-yarder. And they're going to run down the play clock. Bellard looking to that far sideline, trying to get a call from his coach. 4 seconds left on the play clock. Trips receivers to the left. High snap, play action, whips it here. 1st down and goal. At the 7, a play action. Bellard pressure and wide open. Touchdown Point. Into the corner. It's caught by Marquez Jackson, his 3rd touchdown of the year. And Point, after a great little punt return from Chase Turner, they had great field position to start, and they convert 6-0.
And Marquez Jackson completely losing the defense, as you said, wide open. It looked like he was invisible on that play. There was no one on that side of the field for the Rams. Really easy score there for Point.
Now the place kicker and Wes Rubiera, the redshirt junior, waiting a good snap. Here it is. It's bobbled. Rubiera gets the kickoff anyway, and it is 7-0. 37-yard drive to the end zone, capped off by the touchdown pass from Derek Bellard. Point on top here with 7:46 left to go in the first. Seven to nothing, and a kickoff from Rubiera that goes out of bounds. So Bluefield will start with good field position here in their 3rd drive of the game. 7:46 left to go in this first quarter, and the Rams have struggled in their first couple of offensive go-arounds.
And that last drive really has to be really a build of confidence for Point. One thing they've struggled with all season is their offensive production. They've been really good on the defensive side of the ball, but they haven't been putting up the amount of points they wanted to. That has to be a relief for them to get those 7 points on the board early in this game. Touchdown
was a 7-yard pass from Derek Bellard on the near side to Marquez Jackson, who's really in his own zip code there. There was nobody around him. So now Bluefield will start out at their own 35-yard line, looking for their first down against the team that only has 2 wins so far this year. Rams are 4-6, eyeing to get to 5-6. Kason Witt in the gun, drops straight back, now rolls to the right, throws far side, it's intercepted. Picked off by Point, and for them, hauling it in, falling right to the ground. It's who else but Isaiah McFarland, his 6th pick of the year. Point will start out at their own 49-yard line.
Isaiah McFarland always back there watching the football, got a pick right there, and Kason Witt is not going to be happy about that on his senior day.
Yeah, for Isaiah McFarland, the leading tackler for Point, and you can tell it's been a tough year defensively if the safety is leading the team in tackles, but now 6 interceptions, and Kason Witt, unfortunately, that is the side we have seen of him so far this year, where sometimes just turns the ball over, and that is a good part of the reason why the Rams aren't in a winning position right now. So now 7-0, 7:41 left. 1st and 10 for Point from the far hash. A snap to Bellard, handoff straight up the middle, and the ball pops loose, rolling far sideline, and the Rams pick it up. Ball is still loose on the far side. Rams are not celebrating, so it will stay with Point. That is a missed opportunity if we've ever seen one. Point that time going with a brand new running back in. That's Kylan Cross, his first carry of the game. Ball rolled loose, went to the far sideline, and now it's positioned out of bounds inside of their own 45-yard line. So it's back at the 43. It'll be 2nd down and 16.
And the Rams were really close on falling that. It popped loose. It looked like inside of the numbers and rolled all the way out of bounds.
I think the Rams should have just flopped on it instead of going for a scoop and score. 7-0 inside of 7 minutes left in the first quarter. Bellard back to throw and movement on the far side.
Flag on the flag.
So this one will likely go on Point. Jacob Longacre, the freshman offensive tackle, jumped off. Sean Kolb was about to blitz through, so now it'll be 2nd down and 21.
And that is not good for the Point offense. So they had a great drive last time, but this time they're shooting themselves in the foot, keep pushing themselves back, and now they have a long try for the 1st down.
So the line to gain is all the way up at the Bluefield 42-yard line. 2nd down and 21 from Point's 38. Rams stacking the line of scrimmage here as a shotgun formation is shown by Bellard. Bellard, the quarterback, standing in, 6'2", 190, a senior, also playing in his last game. 6:33 and counting on the clock. And now the play clock down to 2. Has to get the snap off. Did he? Yes, he did. It's a high snap play action, rolling right. Bellard dumps on the near side. It's caught there, crossing the 40 and pushed out of bounds. So the wide receiver for Point making the catch. It's Chase Turner, the punt returner. As he dances out of bounds, he's pushed out by Bluefield's Jonathan Green, the corner, who had a pick, or rather a safety, and he had a pick in last week's game against Pikeville that he took to the house. Ends up being a gain of 8, 3rd and 13 from their own 46.
Yeah, nice little gain for Point there, trying to shorten this distance that they need to gain.
Now they have to get it up to the 42, 3rd down and 13. Clock ticking inside of 6 minutes left in the 1st quarter. Rams showing blitz again with Sean Kolb, and now movement on the line of scrimmage. A flag thrown before the play could be started. Be interesting to see here if this goes on Bluefield or the movement will push Point back 5 more yards. Devin Jackson had a pretty big pop there, as did Sean Kolb.
Yeah, Bluefield was definitely sending the dogs on that, trying to get to the quarterback, and it looked like they jumped a little bit early.
Yep, encroachment on Bluefield, so this makes it way more manageable for Point. So instead of 3rd and 13, it's 3rd and 8. They had 2nd down and 21, and they have a chance to manage to convert this here. They have to get it up to the 42. Bluefield spotted at their own 48-yard line. Bellard with Colby Williams, the running back, to his left. Oh, Point, like Pikeville, they don't huddle, and they take the entire play clock to run a play. Now down to 9 seconds, 8 seconds, 5.5 minutes to go. Bellard awaits. Bluefield showing blitz as Devin Jackson drops back into the safety position. Snap to Bellard, drops back, throws near sideline. It is incomplete, out of bounds. So the pass intended for Point's C.J. Henderson. And for Bluefield, the pressure was done by Greg Amos. Good coverage there, and it'll be 4th down and 8.
Yeah, it looked like the wide receiver had a shot at it. The quarterback lobbed it up and hung it in the air a little bit too long, but Amos, good coverage, covering up the wide receiver and breaking up that pass.
5:17 on the clock in the 1st quarter. Good stop for Bluefield. Those penalties really sneaking up on Point there. They're still up 7-0 though, going left to right in the white jerseys. Rams trying to block this punt, and it's still sent in the air. It's a high wobbly punt for Theo Black, who is replacing Tyrese Henry, and the ball is down at the 26-yard line of Bluefield. Not a great punt for Point. Can't manage to pin Bluefield deep. Now we'll have to see if Kason Witt can move Bluefield to get to their first down. So a good job by the defense that time, Josh. Even though Kason Witt threw the pick there, they were still able to manage a 3-and-out.
Yeah, good job by the defense there. And one of the big defensive playmakers, Tyrese Henry, I saw him limping on a crutch back to the locker room. It looks like he's going to be out for at least the 1st quarter.
So Kason Witt back in the gun. 2 receivers either side. Lowell Patron Jr., who had those 2 big touchdown catches in the game against Pikeville, has not been targeted yet. Now a handoff on a jet sweep to Antonio Strickland across the 25 as he spins close to the 30. Point showing the defense there on the tackle. It was Kendall Hillman, the defensive back. It's a gain of about 4 yards, 2nd down and 6 from the 30-yard line.
And that's one thing we saw the Rams do a lot more last week, using Strickland in that jet sweep, running around the side. They also like to fake it to him and try to throw it down the field.
Yeah, unfortunately, he did fumble when he did that last week. It's a snap and a handoff to Alex Martin, nothing going. Alex Martin down, and Point initially signaled pointing the other way. It will not be a fumble. They get up to the 30-yard line of scrimmage, and now it's going to be 3rd down and 6.
And Alex Martin looking for that breakout run. He scored a touchdown last week, but a big part of Alex Martin's game is he tries to bulldoze through the line, and sometimes you can't break through the line. You're going to go down short, but he's looking to make that big gain in the game.
He's a big running back, that's for sure, at 5'10", 230. Right hash, 3rd and 6. Witt takes the snap, dumps it left, and it's overthrown. Alex Martin, even if he were to catch that, he would have been blown up by Trenton Stringer, the defensive back, who saw that play coming. And yet another 3 and out for Bluefield. They're down 7-0 with 4:01 in the first quarter.
And Alex Martin, a running back, that would have been tough for a wide receiver. That would have been tough for Strickland to make that catch. I think if Alex Martin was a foot taller, it would still be hard to make that catch.
And it was thrown behind him as well. So Kason Witt trying to shape up here. Another 3 and out for Bluefield. 4th and 6 from the 30. Drake Presley back to punt. And Chase Turner is ready to receive at his own 36-yard line. Good snap this time, and Presley gets off a good punt to Chase Turner. A fair catch. Caught it right at his knee at the 36-yard line, and that's where it will stay.
Fair catch called.
Now,
it's a 34-yard punt, 1st and 10.
Now Point gets the ball back, still leading by a touchdown. They'll be wanting to jump up early. They don't want Bluefield's offense to get in gear in case of Witt to start clicking like we've seen in the past few weeks.
So Derek Bellard, last time out, wasn't able to convert into points, but he does have a touchdown in this game. Bellard just 7 touchdowns this year, also has thrown 12 interceptions. He's also been sacked 12 times. Bluefield has yet to hit him. 1st and 10 from his own 36-yard line. The running back beside him now is a new one. It's a snap and a handoff to Kylan Cross, who fumbled earlier. And he's brought down by DeMarcus Wimbush there for a 1-yard gain. 2nd down and 9 after the play up the middle did not work.
And Kylan Cross has been a pretty reliable running back this season for Point. He has 196 yards on the season, but he's averaging 3.5 yards per carry. You can almost pick up a 1st down if you run it with him each time, so that's pretty reliable for Point on the ground.
So now Point still taking up most of the play clock. Clock is down to 15, but they are not in any hurry here on 2nd and 9, 3:15 now in the game clock in the first quarter. High snap, handoff, Cross straight up the middle. He's bumped, ball pops loose, and it is almost picked up by Devin Jackson. And here comes the left tackle, Jacob Longacre, who advances Point up to the 49-yard line. 2nd time where the ball goes on the turf on a handoff to Kylan Cross, and the 2nd time where Bluefield fails to pick it up and move it the other way.
Yeah, Bluefield really failing to fall on the ball. That's 2 straight missed opportunities on 2 straight drives, and it looks like there's a little frustration on the Rams defense.
Yeah, Devin Jackson playing in his last ever football game could not pick that one up. I think he thought about scoring before he could actually grab that ball out of the dirt. So 2:40 left and a 1st down for Point now at their own 49-yard line. Colby Williams is in the game as the snap is low and on the ground. The handoff did not work out. This time Bluefield flops on it, and it's Sean Kolb that gets the job done. Had to make a correction there as the running back was Tyreek Robinson, the freshman. It went right off of him, and finally the ball is coughed up, and Bluefield for the first time today has a play in Point territory.
Yeah, that was a big mistake on the handoff. They're subbing in so many running backs that it's hard to build some chemistry and hand this ball off. This time, Bluefield makes the most of it, picks up the ball, and they will start on Point's side of the field.
For the first time today, Bluefield with favorable field position as the junior had a fumble recovery. 1st and 10. Witt back to throw, fires right side. It's a one-on-one ball, and it is wrestled. Who has it? Ball is loose. What are they going to signal here? It's intercepted. Picked off by Kendall Hillman. It was intended for Antonio Strickland, an absolute laser of a throw. Strickland came down with a tackle. They were trying to fight for possession of the ball, and it's the 2nd interception thrown by Kason Witt.
Yeah, this is just a really ugly game. 2 interceptions for Kason Witt, 3 fumbles for Point on their side of the ball, I think, and just really hard to hold on to the ball out there.
7-0, an ugly game so far with 2:23 on the clock. Bellard gets a brand new look at life here in the first quarter, up 7-0. It's a high snap, a handoff straight up the middle, spinning out of the line of scrimmage. Rams don't fall for it. It's up to the 36-yard line, a gain of 1. And it looks like on the carry, it's the starting running back, Colby Williams.
There's been a lot of action here in the past 4 or 5 minutes.
To say the least, and none of it's great.
It hasn't moved outside the 30 to the 50-yard line. It stayed right there in that range the whole time.
2nd down and 9 from the far hash of the 36 inside of 2 minutes left in the first quarter. Two receivers positioned out to the right. Another high snap and a handoff to Williams. Lowers the shoulder and fights his way up to the 40, where the linebacking core for the Rams stood tough, as well as Devin Jackson, Michael Everett combining on the tackle. It'll be a gain of 4, and it will be 3rd down and 5 for the Skyhawks.
And the Skyhawks sticking with the run, even accounting for those fumbles. They don't want to throw it through the air. You mentioned earlier Derek Bellard, 12 interceptions on the season. They might be kind of timid to throw the ball, but at this point I would be timid to run the ball as well.
Two receivers to the right for Bellard, one on the short end of the field on the left side. Minute 12 and counting left in the first quarter as Colby Williams goes from the left to the right of the quarterback in the shotgun. It's a snap to Bellard, looks to throw, fires left. It's caught for the first down, almost broke across the 50, but he twirls his way into Bluefield territory. It's Chase Turner who makes a conversion on 3rd down to move the chains for the Skyhawks.
And Chase Turner does a really great job at getting away from the tacklers on that. It looks like he picked up an extra 2 or 3 yards just breaking through the tackle, making that catch, and advancing the ball up the field in entertaining fashion.
Yeah, Isaiah Fenner almost gave up a huge touchdown there, but Chase Turner bounced his way to try to find some sort of momentum and ground, and he couldn't. So 1st and 10 from the Bluefield 47-yard line. Point already up 7-0, and the clock running down to 30 seconds. Snap, handoff, middle. Colby Williams stood up at the line of scrimmage. Boy, he was stuffed there. He had nowhere to go as the hole was clogged up by Bluefield's linebacker and DeMarcus Wimbush, the sophomore from Danville.
And it looks like here early, Point's trying to take advantage of the young defensive line, trying to run it up the middle, but they've held strong here early in this game, not allowing the running backs to get past them that often.
2nd down and 8, and that will do it for the first quarter of play. It's been an ugly one. Rams and Skyhawks turning the ball over to each other, but we have 3 more quarters to play of Bluefield College football season. 7-0, Point on top. Second down and 8 to start the third quarter. Bluefield down 7-0 to Point as the Skyhawks have the ball at the Bluefield 45-yard line. Another pick thrown by Kaysen Witt. Already has 2 interceptions in this game. Bellard back in the gun, has Colby Williams to the left of him. 3 receivers positioned out to the right. The man in the slot for them is C.J. Henderson. Play clock down to 0, and he did not get that play off. Point is playing a pretty dangerous game, Josh, in the fact that they are using the entire play clock in every time, snapping it with about 1 or 2 seconds to spare.
Yeah, they are running that play clock all the way down, and as we mentioned earlier, their offense has struggled in this season. I imagine they're trying to keep their offense on the field and not allow teams to run up the score on them.
Second down and 13. So far, though, the touchdown thrown to Marquez Jackson has been the difference. Chase Turner positioned on the left side against the senior, and Antonio Dawkins playing in his last game in a Bluefield College uniform. Just starting the second quarter, there was no time elapsed on that last one. So second down and 13 from the 50. Snap to Bellard. Pocket collapsing. Throws it left. Caught by Turner. Juking move, and he stood up by Antonio Dawkins, who fights him down to the 45-yard line for a 5-yard gain. So now it'll be 3rd down and 8, and we'll have to see if Point can convert yet another 3rd down here. Last time they were able to do that was with Chase Turner.
And Bluefield there, as expected, giving the wide receivers a cushion, letting them get that short yardage, and then nailing them to the ground. Good play by Bluefield, setting up this long distance.
Trips receivers spread out to the left. Chase Turner, the lone wideout on the left side, 3 on the right. Now Henderson going from right to left in motion to be D'd up by Antonio Dawkins. Movement off the edge. No flag. He was definitely offside as Bellard goes to his right, throws right, and it's incomplete. I don't see any laundry on the field. Michael Everett had a gigantic jump there, and that's a 4th down. They missed that, and you got to give it to Everett to have such great timing that play, but it looked like he had about a step before the ball was even snapped.
Yeah, it was a miracle that the quarterback could even get that one off. It looked like Everett was almost in the backfield by the time the ball hit the quarterback's hands. Really impressive that he could just get that ball away, but it looks like Bluefield will get the ball back.
Yeah, Point coming up. It's Ned Avies for Point. Theo Black back to receive. Of course, Tyrese Henry was injured on the kickoff. So it's a good snap to Avies. Gets the punt off, and it knuckleballs its way on the far side, taking a bounce inside the Bluefield 20, rolling to the far sideline, and it tumbles out close to the Rams' 16-yard line. With 14:04 left to go in the second quarter, the Rams have yet another drive. So, Josh, Bluefield just has to shape up offensively. It has been pretty hard for them to do anything here.
Yeah, they've really struggled running the ball. They've been trying to run it up the middle with Alex Martin, and Kaysen Witt has to cut down on those turnovers, maybe get some short passes, build a rhythm with his wide receivers, and slowly move the ball down the field just to build some chemistry and find his groove in this game.
Tremont Bright, the running back to the right of Kaysen Witt, as this ball is spotted on the left hash. It'll be handoff to Bright straight up the middle, almost fought away after he got through that first level of tacklers and dove up to the 18-yard line. It's only a gain of 2 with under 14 minutes left to play. Rams trying to get on the board. It's 7-0 in favor of the visiting Point Skyhawks.
And we saw Tremont Bright in action last week, really the first time we've seen him all season. It looks like they're trying to incorporate him more in the game plan here as of late.
So he only got 1 yard on that play. His knee was down back at the 17, 2nd down and 9. Low snap to Witt, looks to throw, fires right, caught by Ebron, tries to wrestle out of a tackle, spins and is stood up. Cornerbacks did not fall for it that time for Point. Jadarius Young able to twirl him down to the turf. It's going to be close to a loss for the Rams. We'll see where they'll spot it. And really just got to the line of scrimmage. So 3rd down and 9 from the 17.
And that was a good fight by Ebron, spinning away, but there was just nowhere to go once that second defender came in. No matter how shifty and how talented you are, you can't get through there.
Well, Ebron had a 38-yard catch in the last game as Kaysen Witt looks to throw, draws straight up the middle, crosses the 25, and now spins his way up to the 30. He was hit hard, but that's going to be a Bluefield 1st down. Kaysen Witt getting it done on his legs, a 12-yard gain for Bluefield.
And that's really where Kaysen Witt is valuable to this offense. He's a good throwing threat, but when he takes the ball into his own hands and runs it up the field, he is very impactful.
So 1st and 10 from the Bluefield 30. Snap to Witt, looks to throw left, pressured out right, dumps near sideline. It's caught by Antonio Strickland, who toes his way across the 35, close to the 38. It's a gain of 8, and now for Kaysen Witt. Let's see if this rolls into anything. 2nd down and 2.
And Kaysen Witt might have to try picking up some more yardage on his legs, scrambling out of the pocket. Since the run game for the Rams hasn't really taken off, they might need to use some short passes or run the ball with the quarterback to start getting that run game flow going.
Officials give him a healthy spot. It's at the 39. So on 2nd and 1, a handoff to Bright straight up the middle, stood up. Looks like forward progress may have moved him along to move the chains. And where the referees stand now at the 41, they will move him. So 1st and 10, Bluefield, their 2nd first down of the drive on just a 2-yard gain.
Yeah, Bluefield's moving the ball slowly but surely, trying to make their way into the end zone at the end of this drive. Trying hard not to turn the ball over.
Started out at the 16, now they're at the 41. 1st and 10, 2 receivers pinched either side. Kaysen Witt takes the snap. Now he's pressured and twirled down to the ground up at the 35-yard line. Blitzing back for Point, coming through a defensive tackle and Warren Brakefield, the freshman.
And Point really has done well putting pressure on the quarterback, but this has been a point of emphasis for Bluefield all season. Their freshman offensive line, it's been really hard for them to block anybody, and Point is taking advantage of that here.
Second down and 16. It's a loss of 6 all the way back at the Bluefield 35-yard line. A hard snap count. Snap to Witt. Handoff. Middle. Tremont Bright. Nowhere to go. Stuffed at the line of scrimmage again. Tried to spin to the right, and he just met a wall there. A tackle by Point. Once again, the defensive line stuffing him, and this time it's Caleb Good. It's a loss of 1, 3rd down and 17.
And again, this big defensive line for Point overpowering this offensive line, and there was just nowhere for Bright to go on that run.
Have to see if the Rams go deep here. Theo Black and Antonio Strickland, the deep ball threats on the right side, Patron on the left. Snap to Witt, looks right, goes up the middle, and he will be sandwiched in the backfield. Another sack. Bluefield's offensive line of all freshmen now starting to fall asleep on this drive that looks so promising. He's down by a gang of Skyhawks back at the 28-yard line. Another loss, and now it's 4th down and 23.
And it looked like Kaysen wanted to take off on that play, and he ran into his own lineman, which stopped his momentum and gave the Skyhawks enough time to get in there and wrap him up for the tackle.
So unfortunately for Bluefield, Drake Presley out to play again. 7-0 in favor of Point. 10:08 and now 4th down for Presley as he awaits this snap back at the Bluefield 13-yard line. It's a high one from the senior in Casto, and Presley boots off a frozen rope to Chase Turner and takes a Bluefield roll, caught at the 35. Chase Turner wrestled down inside the 35, backpedaled and lost his balance, and for Bluefield, that's a good special teams play. Looks like Michael Everett was able to do it, but now we have to see Derek Bellard in this offense again for Point.
And that strength from Michael Everett to take him and throw him by his waist about 5 yards back. That was a really strong play by Michael Everett, but we'll see if Point starts to push the tempo a little bit heading toward the half, but I'm sure they would like some more points on the board before we get into halftime.
So they gave him forward progress there, Josh. They put him down at the 35. So Bellard back to work. 1st and 10 for Point, up 7-0. Rams defense has been strong in these last few drives. They have just not gotten any backup from the offense. Snap and a handoff. It's to Colby Williams again. Tyree Bethel, as well as a bunch of Rams gang tackling him at the line of scrimmage. Logan Hennett also flopping on him. It'll be 2nd down and 10 from the 35-yard line.
And Tyree Bethel getting in there for the tackle, and he's really bolstered this defensive front for the Rams, really locked down. The defensive line has been very impressive here tonight, not allowing the running back to break through. We've been looking for that all season from the Rams defensive front.
So he got about 2 feet on the place, and we'll call it 2nd down and 9 from the 36. 2 receivers lined up to the left and 1 on the far side all by himself. In the shotgun, Williams positioned to the left of Bellard. Snap, handoff. Williams chugs his way across the line of scrimmage, stood up, and dove up to the 39-yard line. Rams meeting him with pressure again. And for Bluefield, it's Logan Hennett on the tackling effort. And 3rd down and 6, ensuing for Point at their own 36-yard line. Already up 7-0 with 8:50 left to go in the 2nd quarter.
And it's got to be hard for the Rams defense here. You see Point make plays like that where they run 2 yards, and then they throw it down the field unexpectedly, and the Rams aren't ready for those long throws down the field. You got to expect that they'll throw it down the field here.
3rd down and 6. Marquez Jackson, the slot receiver on the left side, has a touchdown in this game, and only one man is covering him now with Seltz threatening to drop back as Bellard takes the snap, fires it right, it's caught for the 1st down, and spinning across the 50. It's a good catch made by Point, and they will move the chains. That's a brand new receiver we haven't called on today, and Timothy Gary, the junior, and it's a 1st down for Point inside of Bluefield territory.
Nice catch there, advancing the ball downfield, picking up the 1st down, and Timothy Gary coming into this game had 176 yards through the air and a touchdown on his resume, emerging as one of the top wide receivers in this offense for the Skyhawks. 1st down and 10 now from the 49-yard line. Still operating in the shotgun. Skyhawks have been pretty strong on 3rd down in this game. As now Marquez Jackson, the slot receiver, backs up just a tad. One receiver out to the far side. It's Gary again.
Good snap to Bellard, under pressure, rolling left, and he's wrestled down. Bluefield dropping him for a loss. A good blitz that time from Josh Taylor, the linebacker, and it's a quality sack for Bluefield, their first of the game.
And Josh Taylor making his way through the offensive line, tracking down the quarterback, and that's one of the best defensive plays we've seen from the Rams so far today.
So it's a loss of 4. And you're right, Josh. This defense has made some good stances, but they haven't made Point lose a ton of yards. So now Point drawing up a new play here with 3 receivers out to the left. We haven't seen that this much as Marquez Jackson lines up in the slot once again. And an audible called at the line of scrimmage puts Colby Williams, the running back, from the left to the right. Their ball is spotted back at their own 47 now, and they need to get it to the Bluefield 39. Play action, Bellard whips it right, and it's caught there. It's Timothy Gary again who twirls his way across the 45 down to the 43. It's a gain of 10.
And Gary goes down to pick up that ball. It looked like he bobbled it a little bit, but maintained control, made the catch, and advanced the ball. That was really big for the Skyhawks.
So 3rd down and 4. 2 receivers to the left. 1 to the right. 6.5 minutes to go. Senior Day crowd hoping the Rams can make another stop as Point is in Bluefield territory again. Rams showing blitz with Logan Hinnett up the middle. Now on 3rd down, coming off of the edge, Bellard dips out of a tackle, running right. He's going to tuck and run, has the first down, and goes out of bounds. But a flag down back at the Bluefield 47-yard line, close to the line of scrimmage there. And this one might be coming back.
Yeah, it looks like it'll probably be coming back. Good job by the quarterback, however, getting away from that tackle. He's not really known for his running ability, but he does have 3 rushing touchdowns on the season and 146 yards on the ground so far.
Holding. Offense number 62.
So a holding called on Point on their offensive lineman in Owen Cobb, the sophomore from Colquitt, Georgia. And that wipes the air or lets the wind out of Point's sails here. So instead of 1st down and 10 inside the Bluefield 40, they're backed all the way up to their own 47-yard line.
And Point has often found themselves in these long-distance scenarios, and it's due to their own making with these penalties.
3rd and 15. They've been good, though, at converting these 3rd downs, Josh. So you have to see if they dial one up to Timothy Gary. Marquez Jackson going from left to right as the slot receiver goes on the far side. Snap to Bellard. Here comes the blitz for Bluefield. Bellard dropping back far side. He's going to try to throw it, and it goes out of bounds. Bellard was nearly out of bounds when he threw that ball. Devin Jackson, what a job there for the Bluefield defensive back, making the quarterback throw the ball away. And now yet another missed opportunity for this Point offense, and Bluefield forces them to punt again.
Yeah, missed opportunity, but that was another good job by Bellard, breaking away, escaping the tackles, and being able to throw that ball out of bounds to set Bluefield up with worse field position than they would have with the sack.
Theo Black back to receive, and a flag will stop this punt. Avies was ready to blast it away to Theo Black. It was 4th down and 15, 7-0 in favor of the Skyhawks. Waiting on the call from the Whitecap here. And it's formation error for Bluefield. Still 4th down, so instead of 4th and 15, this will likely be 4th and 10.
And last week we saw a lot of penalties for Bluefield on special teams. It looks like they're continuing here today.
So that'll move it up 5 yards and could give another chance for the punter and Ned Avies to down Bluefield inside their own 10-yard line. Point has played well with field position today. They scored off of the interception, the first one thrown to Isaiah McFarland. It's now 4th down and 9. A snap bobbled, and he got the punt off, but it's a low one. Bouncing at the Bluefield 30, rolling out of bounds close to the 20-yard line. But a flag is down back where the punter was, and this could really deflate Bluefield here. That's Jared Carter. It was bobbled. He was going for the block. Ned Avies got it together and still was able to kick that ball away. And Bluefield's going to be pretty upset about this if it ends up with 15 more yards per point.
Yeah, that's really going to hurt Bluefield. And usually if you run into the punter and you get a hand on the ball, sometimes they let it slide. But unfortunately, Bluefield could not get a hand on the ball, ran right into the punter, Good call there. Unfortunate for the Rams.
So the Bluefield defense is back on the field. And the question is here, is he running into the punter? Because that's only a 5-yard penalty. Or is it going to be roughing the kicker? So it's 4th down and 9. So if it's running into him, it'll be 4th down and 4. Still, though, Point might have to go for it there. And they're going to try to go up. They're already leading 7-0. Clock is down to 5:30 here in the second quarter.
Yeah, big call coming up here from the referees. This could determine if Point has a chance to put more points on the board.
So still a good amount of deliberation here. Officials talking this one over.
Always a lot of subjectivity on these calls from
absolutely.
the refs.
And with how this game has been played, Point's offense has stalled out right around the 50 here. So if they get this penalty, they have a chance to move it into the end zone and go up by 2 scores.
To the kicker. Defense 5 yards from the previous spot.
And it's only a 5-yard penalty. So now to be 4th and 4. They move it up to the Bluefield 43-yard line, and they're still going to punt this. Meanwhile, the referee did not remember to pick up his flag, and now he will. So they're going to try to punt it again. Theo Black is back there, but you have to watch out for a hard snap count because if they jump off sides here, Point is able to get the first down. And now a whistle and a timeout called by Point. So we're going to be right back. It's 4th and 4 from the 43, just trying to get this punt away. Rams down 7-0 here in the second quarter to the Point Skyhawks.
Been a sloppy game so far here in Bluefield, West Virginia, and the Rams are down 7-0. And on 4th and 4, Point is lining up to go for it. Now the quarterback is a bit deep, so maybe there could be a punt here. We saw the Steelers do this last week against the Browns. And now the Rams jump off sides. Will there be movement point though? And if so, this is another big call. The Rams have shown a lack of discipline on that edge. And if it's on the Rams, that's going to win for a first down. And it's on Point. So it's on Colby Williams running back to early. And it's back to 4th and 9.
Yeah, a little bit of confusion there about trying to get the Rams offside. They confused their own offense and ended up with the running back jumping offside. And it looks like they're going to punt again. It's the 3rd time they've punted up for a punt here on 3 straight plays.
This is a sequence that we left out of the instructional video for people trying to learn more about American football. And now another whistle. Trying to get the clock to run. Now 4th down and 9. We're going to have to see if this punt is actually going to happen from Avies here. It's a good snap. Gets the punt off. Nobody hit him. Theo Black awaits, and it's not a great punt at all. Going on the far sideline, waiting for the referee to stop walking, and he will stop at the 32-yard line. So it is just a 20-yard punt. Now Bluefield will start out at their own 32, down 7-0 with 5:26 left to go in this first half. And Josh, we saw Bluefield move a couple of first downs there, and then Kaysen Witt still just couldn't get that ball to go.
Yeah, on the last drive, that was Bluefield's longest drive of the game. They're looking to build on that here, cut down on the turnovers, and slowly march the ball up the field.
Rams' offensive line has been a point of emphasis for other teams to victimize all year. Kaysen Witt's been dropped a few times. Now a shotgun snap on first down. Play action, throws it right, caught by Ebron. Shake and bake move at the 30, and he spins his way up to the 35-yard line for a gain of 3.
Number 83.
So the defensive backs in the secondary coming down on Jaquan Ebron. It'll be 2nd down and 7. With the clock continuing to roll here. 5:05 left. Rams trying to equalize on this drive, down 7-0 after Marquez Jackson caught a ball from 7 yards out in the first quarter to put the Skyhawks up. Another shotgun snap on 2nd down, handoff Alex Martin. This time, that's a big boy run. Alex Martin going up to the 42-yard line, move the chains. It's a gain of 7, 1st down Bluefield.
Yeah, big boy run, a grown man run, pushing 2 guys with him, moving the ball up the field. That was the best run from Alex Martin today. He'll be looking to build on that and break off some bigger runs down the field.
Inside of 5 minutes left to play, Rams down 7-0 before half. Witt, 2 receivers either side. Another handoff to Alex Martin. Call it a play action. Throws it left, and it's over the head of Jaquan Ebron. Jared Ali, the defensive back, was running backwards like a receiver that time, or running forwards, I should say, to try to bring that ball in. That could have been the 3rd pick, but now it'll be 2nd down and 10 from Bluefield's 42-yard line.
And that was a good play action from Kason Witt, and he's been trying to target Jaquan Ebron a little bit more in this game, I've noticed, but just has not been able to connect with him consistently as we get deeper into the second quarter.
No targets as of yet to Lowell Patron Jr., who had a spectacular game against Pikeville. 7-0, 4.5 minutes. Now on 2nd down, a jet sweep handoff to Theo Black, who is blasted across the 45-yard line, but it was down at the 44. Not a great spot for Bluefield. It's only a gain of 2 on that long play to develop. 3rd and 8 for the Rams. They have to get it up to the 48.
And early in the season, we saw those sweeps to Theo Black, but we haven't really seen them as of late. It looks like they're trying to incorporate that a little bit more into their offense.
Rams also used Jeff Hughes for that, but he has been injured since the Cincinnati Christian game. Now on 3rd down and 8, a quarterback draw. Kason Witt crawled up to the 48-yard line. It's a gain of 6, but that's going to be well short of the 1st down. Bluefield's offense wants to stay on the field, and this will be a bit risky here if they try to go for it. Witt now untakes it or unsnaps his chin strap, and Bluefield will punt once again. So 1st down for the Rams. They stall out again right at midfield. 4th down and 4. And Chase Turner is back to receive this one at his own 20-yard line. Drake Presley and his senior day might be the player of the game for Bluefield. The Rams are playing a chess match of field position. It's a good snap to Presley. Steps into a punt, and it's a booming one, sending Chase Turner on a fair catch motion, and he stops inside his own 15-yard line, down at the 12. Great punt for Drake Presley, and now this is less than favorable field position for the Point University Skyhawks.
Really not good field position for the Skyhawks. They move the ball really efficiently, especially on that one really long throw down the field, but since then they haven't consistently moved down the field, and Bluefield's trying to trap them deep in their own territory.
Skyhawks will begin 1st and 10 on their own 12.
So now 1st down and 10 from their own 12-yard line. Bellard in as the quarterback. Looks to throw with 3 men on the left side. Instead, a handoff to Colby Williams. Bumps his way up to the line of scrimmage. Rams were right there to get him, and it looks like it was DeMarcus Wimbush again for Bluefield.
And Bluefield again showing solid play on the run defense. Stopped point there. And that's really been a consistent part of the Rams defense today.
So now a timeout called, and that will give us a break here with 3:02 left to go in the first half. Point up 7-0. Welcome back to the final football game of the year as the Rams are down in this one 7-0. Derek Bellard, the quarterback, lining up in the pistol on 2nd down and 10, back at his own 12-yard line. Rams need a stop here to play this chess match of field position. So snap to Bellard, handoff on the right side to Marcus Wimbush, leading the way, combining with his teammate in Logan Hinnett. Another running back we haven't seen that often today for point. And Keith Adams, the freshman, gets to the line of scrimmage, and another timeout called. And we're just going to stay live here. 3rd down and long with 2:55 left to go in the second quarter. Rams defense, Josh, has certainly kept Bluefield into this game. Offensively, the game plan just hasn't been good.
Yeah, the turnovers have really hurt with those 2 interceptions from Case and Witt, and they can't really get their wide receivers in a rhythm to press the ball down the field. The running game hasn't been there. It's picked up a little bit as of late, but they need to put something together to move the ball down the field.
I think the theme for Bluefield this year, and it's shown in this game, the defensive line, or rather the offensive line for Bluefield, has just been a work in progress. And talking with Dewey Lusk, working with all of these freshmen, he's confident that they'll get better, but moving into next year, you might have to try to find some JUCO guys that are a little bit older than 18 years old to play college football.
And that's exactly what Coach Lusk said earlier this week. He'll be hitting those JUCOs hard, trying to recruit some older guys for next season. And you really can't have Kason Witt running for his life on every play, trying to make a play. He has a lot of interceptions this season, but a lot of those aren't due to him.
Already 2 picks this year. 3rd and 10 from the 12-yard line. Bellard in the backfield as a running back to his left. 2 receivers out to the right and 1 on the near side. Snap to Bellard, drops back. Under pressure, moves up, throws over the middle. It is incomplete. Greg Amos came out of nowhere, intended for Timothy Gary, and Amos dove and slapped the ball down to say not today. 4th down and 10.
And that was one of the best pass breakups we've seen this season. Amos, like you said, coming out of nowhere and swatting that ball down. The sideline was hyped up about it, and it's going to force Point to punt the ball away yet again.
And now for Bluefield, Dewey Lusk very happy that he's playing field position because Theo Black is ready to receive this at the .45-yard line. Only be the 2nd time today Bluefield has a play in point territory. It's a good punt, though. Theo Black, fair catch, and he almost dropped it, but he spins down at the 42-yard line. So the Rams only 42 yards away. They have 2 minutes and 43 seconds to work with to try to tie this baby up. It's 7-0 in favor of Point behind a 7-yard touchdown pass from Derek Bellard in that first quarter to Marquez Jackson.
And I bet Theo Black, coming into this game, thought he would have a lot of action due to it being senior day, but I don't think he would expect to catch the ball as much on punt and kick returns since Tyrese Henry has exited to the locker room.
Yeah, Tyrese Henry getting injured on the opening kickoff, and that's certainly a blow for Bluefield. 2 running backs with Kason Witt in the backfield, and Bright and Alex Martin to the right. Shotgun snap, back to throw, fires right, it's caught by Antonio Strickland, gathers his footing, goes near sideline, and he's pushed out of bounds inside the 20-yard line, down to the 17. Good gain for Bluefield, and it's a 1st and 10 in the red zone for the first time today.
And there we see the explosiveness from Antonio Strickland bolting down the sideline, and that's really the first time we've seen him today. He had a monster game last week.
Gain of 25 for Bluefield. 1st and 10 from the 17, 2 receivers to the left. Snap, handoff. Martin tries to bump out left, moves, and the ball popped loose. Point says they have it, and it looks like they do. 3rd turnover of the game for Bluefield, and the senior for the Rams coughs it up. A very, very untimely error for the Rams.
And that was easily Bluefield's best drive of the game.
Wasn't even a drive, just best field position of the game.
Best field position, great catch by Strickland, but that play coughs it up, and it wipes it all out, throws it out the window, and Point's going to get another chance to go for the end zone.
So the 2 picks thrown by the senior in Kason Witt, and now the fumble from Alex Martin. Rams trying to get their 5th win of the season as that ball was recovered by Trenton Stringer, the weak side linebacker. 1st down and 10 from the 17, 2:15 left. Derek Bellard gathers in a high snap, hands off Kylan Cross straight up the middle. And he flops his way across the 20 up to the 21. It's a gain of 4, 2nd down and 6 ensuing for Point with 2:05 left to go before halftime.
And we really haven't seen Point's offense contribute much since that 1 touchdown drive.
And they were able to do that off of the interception, the initial one thrown to Isaiah McFarland for point. They got that started right around midfield. Now inside of a minute 45, Point has 2 timeouts to work with. Rams only have 1. Ball is spotted at the 22. Play clock running down to 8. Another high snap and another handoff. This time it's Colby Williams on the far side, has the first down and more across the number at the 30 and runs out of bounds, crossing the Point 35-yard line up at the 36. It's a gain of 14. Biggest run of the day for the big bruising running back, and a 1st and 10 for Point to stop the clock with a minute and a half left to go.
Yeah, best run of the day from Point, and running around to the right side, getting a good gain of yardage, picking up the first down. And that's really the biggest flash of offense we've seen from this team since the second quarter started.
So Marquez Jackson, the dangerous wide receiver, lining up in the slot for Point on the left side. 3 receivers to the left and 1 on the right. 1st and 10 from the 36 and a stopped clock at a minute 30. Play clock is down to 4. Snap, handoff middle. It's Williams again, and he chugs his way across the 40-yard line. Sean Kolb, the redshirt junior from Massaponax, or rather Manassas, able to tackle him there. It's a gain of about 5, 2nd down and 5, and a running clock down to a minute 15.
And that's 2 straight solid gains on the ground for Point, and it looks like Bluefield's defensive line may be getting tired.
2nd down and 5, another snap and another handoff to Williams. He's stood up by Devin Jackson, as well as Logan Hinnett with Seltz skying down to bring him down. That'll keep the clock rolling inside of a minute. Close to the first down, but about 2 yards short. It's a gain of 3, 3rd down and 2. The ball spotted at the 44-yard line. They have to get it to the 46.
And if Point intends to get it in the end zone, they have to take a shot at some point.
40 seconds and counting. They do have 2 timeouts. Have to get the first down here, and I think that's when they're going to start managing the clock down. So the 2 and 8 Point Skyhawks working the play clock down now to 10 seconds. Game clock is at 25. Snap to Bellard, looks to throw, fires middle, through the hands of Marquez Jackson. If he hauled that in, he was going to be untouched to go to the end zone. Greg Amos was burnt that time, and a good throw would have been 6 points, but instead, that stops the clock with 22 seconds left. And Point, interestingly enough, is staying on the field with their offense here. The Rams do have 1 timeout.
And it looks like Point is confident in their defense. They'll be able to hold the Rams if they don't pick up this first down, the way the Rams have been moving the ball today. But risking it all here, trying to get it in the end zone before half.
4th and 2 from the 44-yard line. Snap, and it's going to be a pooch punt. It's a bad one. It's blocked, and then picked on the far side. Going out of bounds, it's Antonio Dawkins. And now the Rams, with 15 seconds and a timeout, they can try to make something happen here, down 7-0.
And that was really a head-scratcher there for Point. They could have set up a very standard punt, pin him deeper toward the red zone, but they risked it there, had a really short punt, and that puts the Rams in really good field position. They're not going to have to go far to throw towards the end zone.
So with a timeout, 15 seconds to work with, Michael Everett was coming off of the edge there, and on a pooch punt, you're supposed to back up to give your quarterback at least another second to kick that away. He was in the standard shotgun position, and Michael Everett nearly just tackled him anyway. So now first down for Bluefield with the ball spotted at the 47-yard line. 15 seconds left to go in the half. Low snap to Kaysen Witt, throws it right. It's caught by Alex Martin, crossing the 45. Now the 40 tumbles near out of bounds, but the play will keep running as the clock is running down to 5, and a timeout will be taken at the 36-yard line. It's a gain of close to 11 for Bluefield, moving the chains. And Kaysen Witt will now talk it over with Mike Ketchum as well as Dewey Lusk, the second-year head coach for Bluefield. And this is a long kick for Tanner Griffith. It's a very cold atmosphere here in Bluefield today. And you have to think you have to just chuck it here.
Yeah, sometimes the weather really feeds into this decision. Griffith is a very good kicker, but the conditions are really not favorable to him. Kaysen Witt would have a much easier time throwing it down to the end zone and letting Strickland or Patron have a chance at a 50-50 ball to come down with it.
Well, Lowell Patron certainly proved that in the last game. Had over the century mark and 2 touchdowns on those 50-50 balls. And Antonio Strickland, the deep threat, was able to get them there. He had over 140 yards receiving. 5 seconds left, a timeout called. Rams don't have another timeout. This will likely be the last play before halftime. And Point gets the ball to start out the third quarter. So if you're Point, you're just hoping that you won't have to regret that very questionable chance to pooch punt it there. So now the Rams back out onto the field. First down and 10 from the 37-yard line. The game clock reads 5. Lining up in the shotgun, 3 receivers to the left, 1 on the near side, and Lowell Patron. Martin is the running back. Snap to Kaysen Witt, has protection, throws for the end zone, far side. It is short and intercepted at the 5-yard line. Still on his feet, crossing the 15 and diving down to the 17-yard line. That's Isaiah McFarland. So the Rams come up short on a Hail Mary attempt right at the end of the second quarter. 2 picks in the game for Isaiah McFarland, his 7th of the year. And now we go into halftime with Bluefield being shut out at the moment. It's 7-0 in favor of Point. And the final game of the season for the Bluefield College Rams, they are down 7-0 at half after a tumultuous first 30 minutes of play here at Mitchell Stadium. Bailey Engel and Joshua Sawyers, we're glad to have you with us. And Josh, the best chance for Bluefield was right on their second-to-last drive, lining up at the 17-yard line in the red zone, 1st and 10, and then Alex Martin just coughed the ball up.
Yeah, turnovers has really been the story of the first half for the Rams. You mentioned that fumble by Alex Martin. Kason Wood also has 3 interceptions in the first half. That last one, though, really just a Hail Mary to the end zone. Tried to pick it up, didn't have the arm, and it was picked off. But he has 5 completions so far in this game and 3 interceptions. Yeah,
2 of those picks going to Isaiah McFarland. That first one ended up being the turning point that allowed Point to score right after it on a 7-yard touchdown pass going from Derek Bellard to the wide receiver and Marquez Jackson. Chase Turner actually leading the receivers with 4 catches for 41 yards. Marquez Jackson with 2 catches for 38. Rams wide receivers, they're trying to mix it up, and Antonio Strickland only 2 catches and 34 yards, as well as Jaquan Ebron, who has a pair of receptions for 4 yards, and Alex Martin had that little run there at the end for 10 yards on the screen pass. But interestingly enough, which has kind of hindered Bluefield, we haven't seen Lowell Patron get into the mix.
Yeah, we haven't seen Lowell Patron, and you have to accredit that to the pass rush from Point. Where Patron is really successful is throwing the ball down the field where he can go up and make those big plays, but Kason Wood really hasn't had time in the pocket to let the plays develop like Patron likes to.
Yeah, Kason Witt has already been sacked 1.5 times and pressured a few more times before that, so the Rams have to get their run game together. The offensive line has to anchor down and provide a little bit more protection to their senior quarterback because he only has 30 more minutes to play and 30 more minutes to make sure Bluefield can walk out of here with a 5-6 record. 6 minutes left to go in this halftime intermission. Point ready to get the ball back when we come back on the Rams Digital Sports Network. Skyhawks up 7-0 here at Mitchell Stadium. Ready to start the second half here at Mitchell Stadium. Rams down 7-0. Ben Brown, the senior, ready to kick this one away, and Point will start out with the ball in the second half. Bailey Engel and Joshua Sawyers, we're glad to have you with us as Marquez Jackson is back deep on the right side, as well as his teammate joining him, another wide receiver, and Tyrell Warren. Rather, that's Walter Tatum, and the kick goes out of bounds nearly on the right side and spotted at the 30.
And a pooch punt there, or a pooch kick, rather. Squibb trying to keep it out of the hands of the returners for Point. They don't want to allow any of those big plays, given how Point has been moving the ball as of late.
Yeah, Dewey Lusk has been opting to do those pooch kicks. Now the 1st and 10 at the 30-yard line. Now we're seeing Derek Bellard in again, the quarterback with 1 touchdown pass already. The running back beside him will be Colby Williams. Man in motion, going left to right, Marquez Jackson. Play action, whips it out right. It's caught there, and now moving across the 35. Stiff arm at the 40, and pushed out of bounds by Devin Jackson. Good play on that receiving end. It's Timothy Gary. 1st and 10, and a good gain for Point already, starting out with a 13-yard pass. That's not what Bluefield wanted, but that defense has been strong, especially there in the second quarter.
Yeah, since Point put those 7 points up on the board, the defense has held strong and not allowed Point to move down the field very efficiently.
1st and 10, now from their own 43-yard line, 3 receivers to the left. Derek Bellard, the senior, standing in at 6'2", 190, wearing number 11. A high snap, ball pops loose, and he's dropped to the 40-yard line. Once again, a bit of a miscommunication on the handoff, and Michael Everett was there to flop on the quarterback for a 3-yard loss. It'll be 2nd down and 13.
And Derek Bellard has not thrown any picks today, which is uncommon. He has 12 picks on the season, but he has struggled handing the ball off quite a few times today. You saw it again there. It's going to push him back a little bit. 2nd
down and 13. Yeah, they fumbled 1 snap earlier on in the game. Bluefield got it back, but then threw a pick on the ensuing play. On 2nd down and 13, a handoff right up the middle to Colby Williams. Races up towards the initial 1st down marker. It's going to be a gain of 3, 3rd down and 10 for this team from Point, Georgia.
And the Skyhawks knew coming into this game that the defensive line for Bluefield was a very weak spot on their defense, and they're trying to exploit that, hoping if they run it up the middle enough times that it will break and they will find that big game they've been looking for.
Skyhawks already up 7-0 behind their 1st quarter touchdown, moving most of the play clock now with 13 minutes and 15 seconds to play in the 3rd quarter. 3 receivers, bunch to the left, and 1 all by himself on the right, and Timothy Gary. Bellard drops back, hangs it far sideline. It is incomplete. No flags are down, and Greg Amos, yet another great play. He's been making some highlights out there as the far side corner. It'll be 4th down and 10.
Definitely. You were right. This has been a great game for Amos. Again, breaking up a pass. He had a great swat in the middle of the field earlier. He's putting together a highlight reel, and this has been one of his best games of the season.
Ned Avies, his punter, back to punt again. His toes up at the 29-yard line for Point. Theo Black hasn't gotten a good return off. Tyrese Henry, of course, injured on the 1st kickoff of the game. 4th and 10. Snap is off. The punt gets off back to the 20-yard line, and Theo Black breaks out of a tackle far side. Now at the 23-yard line and pushed out of bounds. Now 1st and 10 for Bluefield, right behind their own 25.
And again, Theo Black nowhere to go on that return. Another short return, and Bluefield's not going to have very good field position. They're going to have to drive the field here.
Bluefield College will start on their own 24-yard line, 1st and 10.
And here comes Bluefield trying to put together a drive and get some points on the board to avoid getting shut out by the Skyhawks.
Yeah, the Theo Black return gets them up to the 24-yard line, 1st and 10. Kason Witt in the gun, 2 receivers Out to the right and 2 receivers to the left. Low snap handoff up the middle to Alex Martin. Tries to work his way forward, and he'll muscle up to about the 26-yard line for a gain of 2. It'll be 2nd down and 8. 12 minutes and 40 seconds left. Alex Martin, he's trying to get mixed more into the offense for Bluefield. He's a senior playing in his last game, trying to break the touchdown record as well. Rams haven't gotten very close. They moved it down to the 17, like we said there in the second quarter, and Martin dropped the ball. So 2nd down and 8. 12:25 and 3 receivers out to the right for Kaysen Witt. Snap looking to throw. Still in the pocket, dumps it near side. It's caught by Ebron for about a 1-yard gain as he went down to the ground. It was thrown behind him. And now it'll be 3rd down and long again.
And like you said, we've seen more Alex Martin here in this game, but we have not seen Bluefield's leading rusher this season, Malik Brown, who had 687 yards on the ground and 2 touchdowns. He's been missed in this game. We've seen a lot of Alex Martin and a lot of Tremont Bright.
3rd down and 7 from the 27. Kaysen Witt looks to drop the middle, crosses the 30, gets a block, stuffs his way close to the 35, and that's going to move the chains for Bluefield. 2nd time in this game where Kaysen Witt has been able to move on 3rd down, draw up the middle, and get a fresh set of downs for the Rams. That'll move them up to the 35-yard line. 1st and 10 for the Rams.
And Kaysen Witt's been very effective today when he pulls it in and attempts to run. He's picked up the 1st down twice today on the ground. See if he incorporates that more into the offense.
Snap to Witt, looks to pitch, dishes it left, caught by Alex Martin, cuts up at the 35, stiff arms his way up to the 40. And now it's a gain of about 5. They're going to spot him down at the 41-yard line. 2nd down and 5 for Bluefield.
And Alex Martin's had success running around the side today, like that play, good gain on that play, and also catching that pass out of the backfield, going for 10 yards down the field. That was really clutch too. So we'll see if they kind of transition him from running inside to running outside a little bit more.
Rams down 7-0 inside of 11 minutes left to play in this penultimate quarter of Bluefield's season. Low snap to Kaysen Witt, looks to throw, flushed out right, spinning to the left. He has to get a throw off, dumps it right. Nobody's in the area. Antonio Strickland raising his hand like he was. That was very close. He was throwing that ball away, and it was almost caught by Jordan Bailey, the right tackle. Of course, that is illegal. And they're going to have to talk about whether this is an intentional grounding or not here. It'll be 3rd and 5 if not.
And there really just wasn't anywhere for Kaysen Witt to run on that play. He rolls out, tries to go left. There's a defender there, tries to spin around and go right. There's also a defender there. Eventually, he just chucks it, and it didn't look like there was a receiver in the area.
Antonio Strickland technically was, according to the officials, so it'll be 3rd and 5. 10:40 on the clock in the 3rd quarter. Rams have to get it up to the 46. Witt in the gun, 3 receivers spread out to his right. Snap to the senior, fires left. It's caught by Patron and dropped. First time he has been targeted today, and it's broken up right at the 50-yard line. The safety and Isaiah McFarland having a career day, able to punch that ball out, and now it's going to be 4th and 5 for Bluefield from their own 41-yard line.
Yeah, Isaiah McFarland again breaking up that pass. You don't see Lowell Patron Jr. dropping the ball that often, but McFarland forced the pass deflection, and like we said, he already has 2 interceptions on today. He was tied for 3rd in the nation in interceptions. He's got to be moving up those ranks.
Yeah, already has 7 after 2 picks in the first half. Drake Presley ready to kick this one. Somebody got a good jump right in the middle of the line, but the punt goes, and it'll take a roll for Chase Turner. He already signaled fair catch, rolling inside the 25-yard line and down at the 23. Drake Presley certainly has kept Bluefield in this game. It's only 7-0 Point after we have still seen this seesawing effect of field position in this game. Point has not been able to move the ball, and Bluefield certainly hasn't either. The only touchdown of the game was scored off of the first interception thrown by Kaysen Witt to Isaiah McFarland. That was picked off right around midfield. Ended up being a pretty solid drive for Point, converting on a 7-yard touchdown pass to Marquez Jackson.
And we saw that really long pass for Point, the completion down the field, and they've been trying to go down the field, but they just cannot connect with their wide receivers.
Yeah, they've stalled out around midfield a few times. They have not gotten into the red zone since that touchdown drive. On 1st and 10, a handoff right up the middle to Colby Williams. But a flag on the play before the play happens. Marquez Jackson looks like he's cramping up on the near side. That could hurt for Point, and it's a false start on Point anyway. So the discipline really hasn't been there for the Skyhawks either. Yet another false start penalty for the Skyhawks team.
Yeah, that was really disappointing, and Marquez Jackson already has 2 completions for 38 yards and a touchdown today. That's not going to be good if he has to sit out for a little while on the Skyhawks bench.
Now 1st and 15, that's going to move them back to the 18-yard line. Jackson being a 10-2 right now. Point looking for their 3rd win of the season. It's been a tough year for them. The Rams beating this team in Alabama last year on a field goal by Tanner Griffith with under 40 seconds left to play. That was a very exciting game. Larry Jefferson bringing down Bellard to end the game. Point's 2 wins coming up, or coming against Kentucky Christian. And earlier on in the year, also picking up another win.
And the Skyhawks coming into this game, it's been a down year for them. They've had a really well-renowned program over there, but this season, 2 wins. They're looking to take home a win today and get out of this season with a little bit of pride.
That's 1st down and 15 from the 18-yard line. Back of the 18. Bellard. A high snap, reels it in, handoff. Williams straight up the middle. Devin Jackson with an ankle-picking tackle, but Williams breaks out of that and stretches for the 26-yard line on a gain of close to 12 yards.
Well, they say it's a game of inches, and Williams on that play stretching for every inch possible.
It's actually a gain of 8. Have to check that. 2nd down and 7 at the 26-yard line. Still spread out 2 receivers either side for Bellard, with Williams remaining the tailback on his right. Bellard taking his time. Rams with 3 men on the line of scrimmage. Tyree Bethel, the defensive end. A high snap, looking to throw. No pressure, pump fake, rolling right, might draw. Instead, dumps it right. It's picked off. Was he in bounds? Yes, intercepted by Greg Amos, and Bluefield takes over at the Point 42-yard line.
And add another play to Amos' highlight reel here as he finally gets the interception. He's had his hands on the ball all night, but he finally comes away with that interception, and Bluefield starts out with great field position on this drive.
Kind of a lazy throw there. That was intended for Timothy Gary. He looked like he was throwing that ball out of bounds, and Amos dragged the foot. He might have gotten 2 feet in there. That would have been an interception in the NFL. So now the Rams starting out in Point territory. Can they score after a turnover?
And that's the 13th interception on Derek Bellard's year.
First one picked off by Amos this season. 1st and 10 for Bluefield. Amos setting up Bluefield nicely as Casey Witt rolls to the right, pitches to Bright looking for a block, cuts across the 40 and bumps his way to the 40-yard line. Cut across the 45, I should say, got up to the 40. It's a gain of 2, 2nd down and 8.
And
on the tackle, that was Brown.
And Bluefield throwing in a couple different schemes here today. They've been running the sweep a lot, and that time try to run the option to cut around the right side. They just could not get all the yardage they intended to on that play.
2nd down and 8 at the 40. 9:10 left in the 3rd quarter. Rams down 7-0. Good snap to Witt. Looks to throw. All kinds of time. Now rolling right. Still looking for a man, and he throws it out of bounds. Antonio Strickland was in the area, and that was almost a coverage sack. Good job that time by the Skyhawks defense.
Yeah, really nowhere for Casey Witt to go on that throw. He also tried to run around the side, and that's the 2nd straight time the Skyhawks defense has taken that edge away from the Rams.
7-0 still in favor of Point, relying on that 1st quarter touchdown. Ebron, the slot receiver, runs off to the sideline now as Alex Martin is into the game. And you have to believe for Bluefield, this might be 4-down territory if you move this a bit closer to the marker. Have to get it to the 32. They're at the 40 now. On 3rd down, a snap for Witt, throws it right. It's caught by Strickland. Juking move, goes out of bounds, spun out for a 1st down inside the 30-yard line. Rams convert on 3rd down. It's been a rare occurrence today, but Bluefield will take it 1st down for the Rams.
That was a good catch by Strickland on the sideline, pushing the ball upfield. Also a good tackle by the defender on that. He falls down trying to go after the ball, gets right back up and takes care of Strickland before he can gain any more yardage on the play.
It's a gain of 13. 1st and 10 for Bluefield now at the 27. 2 receivers to the left. Snap and a handoff to Bright, cutting on the left side, trying to get a block. Instead, he's stonewalled at the line of scrimmage. Had a good jump there, but Point, their linebackers as well as the defensive backs, making it very tough for the freshman running back from Florida to get anything done. It'll be 2nd down and 9 from the 26, and the Rams are down 7-0.
Yeah, good jump there. It looked like he had a hole to run through on the left side, but it closed up quickly as Point took it away and tackled him far beyond his goal.
Now for Bluefield, 2nd down and 9 from the 26. Kason Witt looking to throw, pump fake, rolling right, dumps it right. It's caught by Strickland. Momentum carried him close to a loss on that play.
Number 10, Kason Witt's pass.
And now
number 19,
they'll move it up, or rather move it back. Ball is spotted at the 23-yard line.
Brings up 3rd down and 7.
And it looked like
actually a gain of 3.
And it looked like Strickland on that play had to come back a lot further than he would have preferred on that, taking away a lot of yardage, taking it off the board.
7.5 minutes to go. Rams down 7-0. 3rd and 7. Witt, play action. Fires for the end zone. It is incomplete. Broken up on the play. That was intended for Antonio Strickland, and instead Isaiah McFarland. He has been a boogeyman to Bluefield tonight. It will stay 7-0, and the Rams look to kick here to try to cut into this lead.
And tight coverage from Isaiah McFarland on there. He's been a terror on the defensive side of the ball all night, disrupting passes left and right. He does it again right there.
So this will be about a 40-yarder. From the right hash, Point getting into it. It's a good snap, a good hold. Griffith gets the kickoff. It is end over end and through. What a kick for the sophomore from Gloucester, Virginia, and the Rams are on the board for the first time today. 7-3, Bluefield within 4 now against Point here at Mitchell Stadium with 7:15 left to go in the 3rd. .40-yard kick from Tanner Griffith splits the uprights, and now Bluefield on the kickoff goes for a pooch kick again. It's caught at the 35, cutting up the middle across the 45-yard line. He's trucking his way into Bluefield territory and down at the 45-yard line of the Rams. That was picked up by the big man in Kadamon Johnson, the senior linebacker, standing in at 5'10", and that's the best kickoff return we've seen all day. I just don't get it. I don't understand the pooch kicks every time because Bluefield hasn't been able to really execute that to perfection. And you better believe they're telling him to do that. That baffles me. And
really, they're playing for field position, but that gives Point great field position already on the Rams side of the field.
It just goes away with all the great punch Drake Presley has had today. Why not just try to kick it deep? A high snap to Bellard, handoff on the right side. And a running back in Keith Adams, we saw him earlier tonight. Gets about a yard gain. He's bumped down by the Bluefield linebacking core. It'll be 2nd down and 9 from the Bluefield 45. Rams down 7-3. A 40-yard kick from Tanner Griffith puts them on the board, only down by 4 in the final game of the 2018 season. 6:45 and counting in the 3rd quarter. Bellard looking to the left. Point with a bit of a break here, lining up in the pistol. 2 receivers matched up with Devin Jackson and Antonio Dawkins. Hand off to Adams in the pistol, and the Rams stonewall him again right at the line of scrimmage. It'll be 3rd down and 9.
And again, the impressive play from the D-line and also the linebackers coming in, filling those holes through the D-line. The running backs have nowhere to go, and that's really been one of the most impressive parts of the defense today for me.
Have to get it close to the 36-yard line. 3rd down and 9. Lining up in the pistol again. Running back to the left of the quarterback in Bellard is Tyreek Robinson, who has a fumble. Looking for an audible on that far sideline. Point eyeing their 3rd win of the season. 3rd down and 9. High snap to Bellard. Pressure coming off of the edge. Steps back. Chucks it down the field on the left side. It is caught inside the 5-yard line and down at the 4. What a catch for C.J. Henderson. And point set up nicely here on the bomb from Derek Bellard to be 1st and goal.
And C.J. Henderson on that play was double coverage, but he outran the coverage, got open. The ball was a little bit hung up in the air, but he still came down with it. Fell down short of the goal line, and that was a really impressive play. They don't throw it deep, but when they do, they're successful.
That's the first time Point has had 1st and goal since the 1st quarter, and when they had that, they scored on a 7-yard pass to Marquez Jackson. So now they line up at the 3-yard line, 1st down and goal. Running back to the left is Robinson. Snap, Bellard tries to tuck and run on the near side. He will stumble close to a gain and chased out of bounds by DeMarcus Wimbush. He's having one heck of a game. Sophomore from Tunstall, Virginia. It's a gain of 1, 2nd down and goal from the 2.
And good job by the Rams there, taking away the edge. Sometimes when you're on the goal line, you neglect the edge. You usually leave it to the coverage of the wide receivers. But on that play, the entire defense shifted and took the quarterback down before he could reach the end zone.
Now Point trying to add on to this 7-3 lead with 4.5 minutes to go in the 3rd quarter. Lining up in the pistol once again. The high snap, handoff Robinson, and instead, Bellard tried to go on a fake. Michael Everett made him pay. I love the sportsmanship as he picks him back up, but it's a sack and a big one for that, bringing him all the way back to the 9-yard line. Initially, you thought that ball was going to go to Keith Adams, and Bluefield did as well. Adams was going into the end zone, and Forward Progress will spot him back at the 8 now. Rather the 7.
And Derek Bellard, not really known for his wheels, but when they get on the goal line, they love to run with him. He only averages just above 16 yards per game, but he has 3 touchdowns on the ground. They love to use him in these situations.
3rd down and goal from the 7. Adams, the running back to the right. A high snap for Bellard. Dumps it right side, and it's incomplete. Intended on the play. That was actually Tyreek Robinson. The pass went forward. Bluefield's trying to argue that it was a backwards pass. And it's just incomplete. Rams thought that was backwards, and I'd love to see the Rams make a big play, but still, that was definitely going forward. But a stop for Bluefield nonetheless. It's going to be 4th down and goal from the 7-yard line.
Yeah, that was close to being a backwards pass, but it definitely went forward. Still a risky play to run at this part of the field.
So now the first field goal attempt for Wes Rubiera in this game. It's 7-3, trying to make it a touchdown lead again.
And Rubiera 7 for 11 on the season kicking field goals.
It's going to be about a 24-yarder. High snap, it's bobbled, and they flop on it. A bad snap going right through the holder's hands, and Bluefield will take over on downs. Rams gifted a mistake there from the Skyhawks, and they'll get the ball back at their own 15-yard line with 3:38 left to go in the 3rd quarter.
Yeah, a bit of luck there. A fumbled snap, and Bluefield still has it within 1 possession, and they still have a chance to come back and take the lead here.
1st and 10.
Nick Petrosky couldn't bring that in. It was a high snap from Jacob Longacre. It was also a tackle. What a gift for the Rams. Let's see if they can do anything with it. Now at their own 15-yard line. Kaysen Witt in the gun. He'll hand off to the senior Alex Martin, and at least he'll fake it as Kaysen Witt scampers out right, and he is twirled down by Carmichael, or rather McFarland, as Kaysen Witt will move the chains, getting all the way up to the 28-yard line, a gain of 13. Kaysen Witt still getting it done with his legs.
And Kaysen Witt took a shot on that play, popped right up. You can't talk about the toughness of this senior quarterback enough.
So now for Bluefield, 1st and 10 at their own 28-yard line. Kaysen Witt trying to get a touchdown in his last game as a Bluefield College Ram. To receivers to the left, handoff straight up the middle. It's Bright this time. Not a bad run, not a great one. Fights his way up to the 30 for 2 yards. It'll be 2nd down and 8 with the clock running inside of 3 minutes left to go in the third quarter.
And Bright there trying to power it up the middle. He had a little bit of space, but it closed quickly as he could not power over the defender and just gets a short gain on that play.
2:48 left to go. Jason Witt in the gun again. Alex Martin to his right and Bright to his left. Good snap, play action. Witt with protection. There it goes, and he's brought down. Another sack. And the ball did not come loose. Point was just gang tackling around him. Izzy Woods, untouched, the linebacker, flopping on the quarterback. And now it's going to be 3rd down and long for Bluefield.
And the Skyhawks really do have a multitude of players who can get in the backfield and bring the quarterback down. They're really taking advantage of that young offensive line, and that's really where their strength lies on this defense.
Fights Bluefield all the way back to their own 26. It's 3rd down and 12. And the gun again, Witt has to throw. Back, throws it right. It's caught by Strickland. He turned around, and he got enough for the first as he is down close to the 40-yard line. Big-time 3rd down conversion for Bluefield, moving the chains now 60 yards away from trying to take the lead at 7-3 point.
And Strickland picking up the first down there, and he also took a big hit on that play, but Strickland often gets put in those situations, and he's not afraid of taking those big hits from the defenders on the other side of the ball.
On 1st down, a handoff right up the middle to Bright. And the ball popped loose. Point says they have it. Have to wonder here, was Bright down? And they point it the other way. 4th turnover for Bluefield as that ball was flopped on by Craig Jenkins. It happened so quickly. And Point capitalizes again.
And that's a fumble from both running backs in this offense. One fumble from Alex Martin earlier, and that fumble right there from Tremont Bright. And really just turnovers has been the story of the game today.
Another promising Bluefield drive stopped short. And now Point with great field position, starting at Bluefield's 39-yard line. 3 receivers to the right of Derek Bellard. 7-3 Point leads with 1:38 left to go in the third. Snap, play action. Bellard rolls right. Stomps his feet and throws over the middle. It's caught by Gary, who goes down on the ground on his behind inside the Bluefield 25-yard line. Spotted down at the 23, a gain of 16. Great throw that time from the senior quarterback, and that'll move the chains very close to the red zone for Point.
Really nice catch there from Timothy Gary, but the throw right there had to squeeze in a tight window, did just that, and moved the chains.
Trying to add to the 7-3 lead. 1st and 10 for Point at the Bluefield 23. A little bit of movement on the line as Bellard drops back, throws. It's tipped and almost intercepted. That pass for Point intended for the wide receiver and Damian Jones, ricocheting all around. Michael Everett got a paw on it, and off with a bounce. Antonio Dawkins had a chance to bring that in.
Yeah, Michael Everett got it up in the air, and every time it goes in the air, all the defenders' eyes go straight to the ball. You got to be careful whenever, well, you can't be careful, but you have to be weary when it goes up in the air like that. Most of the time, it's going to end up in someone's hands.
2nd down and 10 for Point. Up 7-3 at the Bluefield 23-yard line. 3 receivers bunched to the short end of the field. They'll run it this time on 2nd down, straight up the middle to Colby Williams, and it's a good run. As he trucks his way up to the Bluefield 16-yard line on a gain of 7. It'll be 3rd down and 3 with under a minute left to play in the third quarter after he was tackled by Antonio Dawkins.
And you got to think that Point's confident in this situation. They've done well on 3rd down all night, and a 3rd down and 3, really short yardage situation. They're really comfortable in this situation.
And it might be a 4-down territory because of the last time they were here, they went to kick it, and it was a bad snap from Longacre, their long snapper. 30 seconds left in the third quarter. 3rd down and 3 from the 16. Another high snap, handoff up the middle, and Kylan Cross is tripped up behind the line of scrimmage. Josh Taylor, his 2nd tackle for loss of the night, and it'll be 4th down and 3 to go for this team from West Point, Georgia.
And Kylan Cross has struggled on the ground tonight. He hasn't really been able to break off any big runs, hasn't been able to move the ball up the field, and you were right, the offense is staying out there.
4th down and 4. Clock is ticking down to 2 seconds, and they will just let it go into the fourth quarter. We have played 3 quarters here at Mitchell Stadium. Rams down by 4, and Point going for it on 4th down and 4 from the Bluefield 17-yard line when we come back here on the Rams Digital Sports Network. Now to start the fourth quarter, Point switching it up and deciding to kick for it here. 4th down and 4 from the 17-yard line. This will be about a 35-yard kick. Last time it was a bad snap. Petrosky, the holder, couldn't bring it in. Lined up in the middle of the field at 7-3 in favor of Point. Rams defense standing up. They're not convinced here that this team won't try to actually kick it. Waiting to resume play. Referee says to do so. 4th down and 4. It'll be about a 35-yarder. Call it a 34 actually as Rubiero waits. It's a low snap, another bad snap as the ball is rolling loose. Kicker falls on it, and now the Rams fight for it. Either way, Bluefield gets the ball back down at their own 47-yard line, and the kicking woes continue for the Point Skyhawks.
And the Rams are fired up after that play. That could be the swing and momentum that the Rams have been looking for, and it may just jumpstart their offense.
Now, hold on a minute. Bluefield still waiting at the line of scrimmage. Is this an offside penalty? We don't see any flags on the field. If so, it will be 4th and 4. So any flag for Bluefield is going to ensue in a Point first down. Defense still staying on the field. Official trying to make sure his microphone works. And this is the biggest penalty call of the game. And it's going to go against the Rams. So a personal foul called on Bluefield. Of course, his microphone's not working because why would it? And now such a change. That has to just kill Bluefield now.
And one of the biggest plays of the game in the Rams' favor, wiped off the board, and Point gets another shot at the end zone.
So now, instead of it being first down for Bluefield at their own 47-yard line, it's 1st and goal up at the 9-yard line for Point. So Bellard lining up as the quarterback as Kylan crosses the running back to his left. 1st down and goal from the 8. 4th quarter, they're up 7-3. 2 receivers either side. Rams need a big stop here. High snap, handoff, cross straight up the middle. Ball popped loose again. Rams trying to fight for it in a scrum, signaling that they have it. Do they? Yes. They're gifted yet another turnover after the one on the snap for the field goal wiped off of the board. Kylan Cross coughs the ball up yet again.
And no flag on this play. The Rams will take over on another turnover from Point, and turnovers have really been the story of this game on both sides. We'll see if the Rams can make up for it here.
Ooh, this has been a sloppy one. 1st down and 10 for Bluefield at their own 7. Kylan Cross, the running back, coughing that ball up, the freshman. So Kaysen Witt in the gun, a low snap handoff. Martin going on the left side, crosses the 15 as he's cartwheeled up to the 13-yard line. A gain of 6 for Bluefield. On the tackle for the Skyhawks, sweeping out the legs from under him. That's Amadre Brown, the defensive back, or rather the linebacker. And now for Bluefield, 2nd down and manageable.
And Alex Martin had a big hole there on the left side, but just didn't have the speed to burst through the hole. He's not really known for his speed, he's known for his power.
2nd down for Bluefield and 4 to go. Witt back to throw, fires it right, caught by Bright in the backfield, and he trips up and falls for a huge loss. So it goes down inside the 10, close to the 8. It's going to be a loss of 5, 3rd down and 9. And if you're Bluefield, that pass was backwards, but you kind of wish that that would have just been an incomplete pass there instead of a catch and a loss.
Yeah, you go from 2nd and manageable to 3rd and long, and that's really not what the Rams wanted to happen in this part of the field.
Not to say the least. 7-3, Point up by 4. Rams backed up close to their own end zone. 3rd and 9 now from the 8. Witt back to throw, chucks it far side. It's caught there by the running back. It's a block, far sideline, and room to run as he is twirled across the Rams' 30-yard line and down at the 32. Tremont Bright making up for the catch for a loss, and now advancing it for Bluefield, 28 yards.
And Bright there showing off a little bit of the speed, but he got a really good block by the receiver on the outside and able to advance it down the field.
So actually call it a gain of 24 as he's initially spotted at the 32, but the officials have a flag down hidden back at the 15-yard line.
Offense.
And it's a holding on Bluefield. It'll be a replay, third down.
And it just seems like here in the fourth quarter, everything that is in the Rams' favor is being wiped off by a penalty.
13.5 minutes to play. And it'll be third down and long again.
3rd and 10.
Make it 3rd and 10. And the stick had changed it to second down. That should be wrong as Kason Witt draws straight up the middle, crossing the 10 and brought down at the 14-yard line.
Kason Witt on the keeper.
The officials, if they don't correct that, they have just given Bluefield an extra down to work with. Because the stick right now reads 2. The official mistakenly said replay second down. It should be 4th down right now. And unless we miss something, and it'll be another holding on Bluefield. And it's going to be second down. Did I miss it? That should be second. That should be third down.
You're right about that, Bailey. I don't see how the coach on point sideline isn't complaining about that if he can see it.
Well, we're going to call it second down and long. Rams all the way back to their own 4-yard line. Second down and 13.
Bluefield been given all kinds of gifts and not been able to move the ball up the field.
And now the stick changes to third down. Well, I have it right now, third down and 13. Now a whistle, and the referees have lost a little bit of control here. And I think if the play was correctly called on third down, Kason Witt was going to be short. It would have been 4th down. You decline the holding penalty.
Yeah, that controls the entire trajectory of the drive.
Wait, it controls the logic of whether you accept the penalties or not. The officials are calling second down when the play was actually third down on the initial ball to Tremont Bright where he ran all the way down the field. That was a third down play. Holding was called, put Bluefield back, and then he said replay second down. And then Bluefield was given a chance on second down to try to convert. Kason Witt ran, and then you realize that was actually third down.
I've never seen a situation like this in college football.
Well, it shouldn't happen. I mean, you've had that famous extra down play. I believe it was Colorado back in the 80s. So now it's going to be third down and 13.
Third down and 13.
Now, if I'm point, I have to be pretty upset here. Third down and 13, especially if Bluefield is able to convert. Officials have yet to make this play happen. I think they know that they missed it down.
And you mentioned how they've lost control, and it's not like the players are getting on each other's nerves. It's that
we've seen chippy games before. This is certainly not one of them.
Players come into games expecting to trust the referees to make the right calls, and they've lost the trust here in the game.
3rd and 13 from the 4. Witt back in his own end zone in the shotgun. A good snap. Back to throw and another flag. This just keeps going wrong. It'll be a false start on Bluefield. It's going to be half the distance, and that'll put him very close to the 2-yard line.
I feel like we've been in this part of the field for hours.
No, it's 13-17 left to go in the game. And now this has been less than a great game for the Rams. And the Whitecap didn't even bother to call that. So a false start, putting Bluefield close to the 1-yard line now. Make it the 1.5. Third down and very long for Bluefield. Witt out of his own end zone, drops back to throw. Fires it deep left side. It is incomplete. Intended for Lowell Patron Jr., the cornerback, almost picking it off, and Kendall Hillman. And after that gigantic debacle, we will see Bluefield punt out of their own end zone here.
And this is going to be a really tough punt for Presley. He's gotten a lot of work today, but this will easily be his toughest punt of the day, backed up with his heels on the line.
Yeah, for Drake Presley, if you're in a bit of trouble, you might as well just take a knee for the safety rather than give up a touchdown. Adam Casto in a tough position, snapping from his own 1 yard line. Chase Turner to receive for point at the Bluefield 39. Presley playing in his final game in a Bluefield uniform. It's a good snap, though, as Presley boots it off, and it's a spiraling punt, taking a Bluefield roll now up towards the 34-yard line. And that's the best punt you could ask for there, really, but Point starting out with great field position right here with 13:02 left to go in the game.
And Point on that didn't really come in for the block. They played it safe, which is an odd call, but they still start with really good field position already on Bluefield's side of the field.
Skyhawks up 7-3. Ball is spotted at the Bluefield 34. They have fumbled the last time they were in the red zone. Derek Bellard working with Colby Williams, the running back to his right, standing at 5'6", 190. Bellard with 2 receivers on the left, and Timothy Gary, the lone wideout on the right. Position with Antonio Dawkins, the senior from Shelby, North Carolina. Snap to Bellard, drops back, flushed up the middle. He's going to try to draw. Michael Everett almost tackled him, but here comes Josh Taylor, his 2nd sack of the game, spinning down the quarterback for a short loss. It'll be 2nd down and 11.
And Taylor's done a really good job in today's game, tracking down the quarterback, not getting to him immediately, not bursting through the line, but waiting on the quarterback, waiting for a hole to open up, and then tracking him down and bringing him down.
So 2nd down and 11. Bellard trying to look for the dagger here, milking this clock down to 12 minutes and 30 seconds. Point leading 7-3. Rams have turned the ball over 4 times in this game, keeping the Skyhawks on top. Now at the 35, 2 receivers to the right. Bellard takes the snap, looking to throw. Steps up, now flushed out right. Taylor on the pressure, hanged on the near sideline, and it's incomplete. Pass intended that time for Chris Watts, the senior tight end. Good pressure on the Bluefield secondary. A good play for Bluefield. A couple of them in a row where the Rams have forced the quarterback to make a decision he didn't want to make.
And 2 Skyhawks and 2 Rams on that side of the field. Good coverage from the Rams on that play, and the quarterback throws it just out of bounds.
3rd down and 11 from the 35-yard line. Marquez Jackson and Timothy Gary hoping for the 3rd win of the season for the Point Skyhawks. 1 receiver out on the left, and Chase Turner. Williams is the running back. Rams line up with 3 men on the line of scrimmage. Here comes Jackson on a blitz. Stomping down the right side. Bellard throws on the right side. It's caught by Jackson inside the 20-yard line, and he's wrestled out of bounds close to the 16. A huge 3rd down conversion, and now Point has 1st and 10 inside the Bluefield red zone.
And Point has really struggled in the red zone here today. They missed the field, or they didn't even miss the field goal. They muffed the snap on that.
2 of them, twice.
They've done it twice, and they haven't been able to capitalize on these situations. We'll see what they do here.
Colby Williams staying in as the running back. Point working the clock down now to 11:40 left to go in their season. Rams down 7-3. 2 wideouts perched on the left and 1 on the near side. Ball is spotted at the red hash, or the right hash, going left to right. Another high snap handoff. Williams stutter step as he crosses the 15, and he works his way up after Logan Hinnett made the tackle close to the 10-yard line. It's a gain of 6, 2nd down and 4.
And Point scored in this situation on a pass. I think it was a 7-yard pass to the end zone. They scored on that, but since then they've been trying to run it into the end zone, and it hasn't really worked for them.
So they fumbled the last time they were here from the freshman running back in Kylan Cross. Point has definitely shot themselves in the foot a few times today, but not as many times as Bluefield. 2nd down and 4 from the 10-yard line on the right hash. Another snap to Bellard. Delayed handoff on the right side. Williams gets a block, hurdles at the 5, and works his way across the goal line for the touchdown. 10-yard run from the senior, and now it is 13-3 in favor of Point.
And Point is excited, going up by 2 scores on the Rams. Good blocking, good hole for the running back to hit, and that's more points on the board here late in the 4th quarter for the Skyhawks.
So they played field position correctly. Now the kick coming up from Rubiera on the PAT. He's had trouble. This time it's a good snap, swing of the leg, and the kick is up and good. 14-3, Point leading. with just 10 minutes and 43 seconds left to go in this one. Bluefield trying to get the ball back and make this a ball game when we come back here on the Rams Digital Sports Network.
14-3.
.43 left to go in the game, and Point delivering what could be considered a dagger if Bluefield isn't able to get their offensive act together. 14-3 after the 10-yard touchdown from Colby Williams, the sophomore. Kick is away and bouncing into the end zone. Antonio Dawkins trying to track it down. He flopped on it, and that will be a touchback. So Dawkins had to get back to it so that ball wouldn't be recovered in the end zone for the touchdown. So the Rams will start out at the 25-yard line. 75 yards to go to try to find their first touchdown of the game. Bluefield has really stalled out those two big fumbles, one time from Tremont Bright, another time from Alex Martin. That was the biggest one of the game because the Rams were down at the 17, and then 3 picks thrown by Cason Witt. 4 turnovers. No, actually 5 in the game for Bluefield.
And the Rams being held to 3 points right now after putting up a lot of points last week and putting up 58 points in the game against Union 2 weeks ago. Their offense is stalled.
Cason Witt gets the snap, rolls left on first down, throws, and it's deflected, incomplete. He was intending that ball for Theo Black, who was curling around at the 35-yard line.
Second down.
And we'll see if Bluefield's offense can get in gear and move the ball down the field. They need their senior quarterback, Cason Witt, to step up.
So 2-8 on the year, the Point Skyhawks. The Rams are 4-6. Second down and 10. Snap to Witt. Dumps it left, caught by Bright. Crossing the 25, spinning at the 30, and fighting his way close to the first down marker at the 35-yard line. Nice hit from Kendall Hillman, but that'll move the chains for the Rams. Bright trying to show he might be the starter next year, as Malik Brown is now hurt for Bluefield. They'll move the chains 1st and 10.
And we've seen Bright a few times break tackles like that. That time just bouncing off the tackle and picking up the extra yardage he needed.
On 1st and 10, a snap to Witt. Drops back, throws middle. It is bobbled and dropped by Jaquan Ebron. A high pass, good defense that time from the defensive back in Jared Ali. And it'll be 2nd down and 10.
And there was good protection by the offensive line on that. Cason Witt had a long time to make a decision, but just throws it a little bit too high, and Ebron can't come down with it.
10:08 left to go in the game. Rams down by 11. It's 14-3. Patrone as well as Strickland perched on the left side. And a delayed handoff straight up the middle to Bright. Works his way up to the 40. Linebacking core getting there. Jenkins wrestling down the short running back. It'll be 3rd down and manageable for Bluefield after the gain of 4. 3rd down and 6 for the Rams. 9:50 left to go in the game. 9:50 left to go in the Rams season. They're down by 2 scores. It's 14-3.
And that was a really good play call there with the delayed handoff.
Here's Cason Witt on 3rd and 6. Back to throw. Flushed out right. He's going to run. Goes across the 45, spins, and dives up towards the 47. So it's a good enough for the 1st down on a gain of 7, moving the chains for Bluefield. One of the few times tonight they have been able to matriculate 2 first downs in a row.
And Cason Witt, not really known as a quarterback who's going to go down and slide. He's going to stretch, he's going to jump, he's going to do anything he can do to get to that 1st down marker, and that's what he did there.
Biggest plays from Cason Witt have been on the ground tonight. Three receivers on the right for the quarterback. 1st and 10 from the right hash. Play action. Witt back to throw. Under pressure, dumps right, caught by Bright. Stumbles up to the 49. Didn't have good balance on that one. It'll be a gain of 2 with under 9 minutes left to play. 2nd down and 8. Rams down 14-3.
Yeah, and Bluefield still needs 2 scores here. They're going to have to start moving a little more quickly as the game winds down.
Have all 3 of their timeouts left. Tonight has been absent of the big play for Bluefield. 2nd down and 8 with 2 receivers either side. A handoff straight up the gut to Bright, and nobody was fooled. The defensive line collapsing on the running back, and Cameron Weems laying down the wood for about a yard gain. It'll be 3rd down and 7.
And you said Bluefield's been lacking the big plays, and their playmakers really haven't done much in this game. Strickland had 1 catch earlier, but we haven't really seen him much after that, and Patron really hasn't gotten much action either down the field.
Well, Patron has 0 catches. All spotted close to the 50. Have to get it to the 43 of Point. 3rd down and 7. 2 receivers either side. The senior takes the snap. Jukes out of the first tackle, and he's sacked back at the Bluefield 45-yard line. Had to wrestle out of that first tackle, and then the defensive line coming up on the effort. That's Jonathan Anderson spearing down the quarterback, and the Rams they have to punt here on 4th down and 12.
And again, the Skyhawks getting to the quarterback. Cason Witt, there wasn't much he could do. There was a breakdown in his protection. Evades the first tackle, but eventually goes down. Couldn't get away from the defensive pressure.
It's not a bad call for Bluefield to not go for it here. They have all 3 timeouts. The defense has been solid when they played field position. Good snap to Drake Presley. Steps up and punts it away. Chase Turner veering towards the right. As the ball pops up, takes a Bluefield roll. That ball looked like it might have touched Point as it's picked up by Dawkins at the 23-yard line. Referee was closer and said it did not, so now it'll be a 1st down for the Skyhawks at their own 23-yard line with 7:05 left to work. And Josh, if the Skyhawks score here, especially a touchdown, the game is over.
Yeah, you're right about that. Bluefield's defense needs to hold still here and hold Point from gaining yardage and getting on the board again, going up by 3 scores. This is really the most crucial drive in the game thus far for the defense.
So can Point improve to 3-8 on the season and let Bluefield fall to 4-7? Flag is on the field, and the Rams fans not excited about that right before the play could even start at the 23-yard line. And it's going to go against Point, a 5-yard penalty.
And really in this game, we haven't seen many penalties down the field. We haven't seen many holding calls, pass interference. It's always been on the line of scrimmage.
3 snap plays and false starts. So 1st down and 15 from the 18. Boy, the Rams could use a turnover here. Good blitz off of the edge, and Williams is dropped in the backfield. Back at the 15-yard line. That was Michael Everett again. He has had one heck of a season. 2nd down and 18, a loss of 3, back at the 15-yard line.
And you said the Rams could use a turnover. Michael Everett was going for a turnover there. Head to the ball, trying to knock that ball loose, but the ball carrier would not drop it.
Well, Point can't get lazy now. 6 minutes and 35 seconds left to go in the game. Rams down by 11. It's 14-3. Man in motion. Johnson going from right to left to join another receiver on the left side. From the left hash, another high snap. Handoff Williams, straight up the gut, and the Rams fight him down, led by DeMarcus Wimbush again. He'll get up close to the 18-yard line for a gain of 3. 3rd down and 15 for Point here with 6:10 and counting with a rolling clock.
And this is a big play for Point. It looks like the Skyhawks may have to go to the sky with this one to pick up the 1st down.
Well, if you're the Skyhawks, you might want to do that to try to look for the dagger to score, but also you could just keep the ball on the ground to keep the clock rolling.
And like we mentioned, Point's played excellent defense, so that would be a comfortable play as well.
5:45 left to go in the game. Play clock is down to 5. 14-3 of the score. On 3rd down and long, Bellard takes the snap, rolls right, dumps it right, and it's incomplete. intended on the play for Damian Jones, and it's incomplete. That'll stop the clock at 5:37 with 14-3 being the score, and the Rams have 11 points to make up for here.
And it looks like, if all goes well, the Rams will start this drive with good field position and a chance to score.
So Ned Avies back to punt this one. You have to wonder, will this be a good snap from Jacob Longacre, who has had trouble in this game connecting with the holder. Now on a punt, back at the 5-yard line, Theo Black ready to receive at the 50. It's a good snap and a good punt as Theo Black signals fair catch and makes it right at the 48-yard line of point. Rams with good field position again. The only time they have scored all day has been off of the pick from Greg Amos, and even that was a 40-yard kick from Tanner Griffith.
And Bluefield really has not been in the red zone tonight. They have not been in a position to score other than long passes down the field. They really need to put a drive together here, led by Kason Witt, drive down the field and put themselves in an opportunity to score.
The only time they were in the red zone was in the first half, and Alex Martin fumbled the ball. 5.5 minutes to go. Rams need a couple of good drives as well as a stop, down 14-3. 1st and 10 from the point 48. Drive starts off with a handoff to Alex Martin. He had nowhere to go. Fought up to about the 45-yard line off of sheer space on the initial blocks. And the big running back makes it a 3-yard gain after being tackled by Cameron Weems.
And the clock continues to tick, and the Rams continue to take their time. They still have timeouts on the board, but still, time's winding down here in the 4th quarter, down by 2 scores.
Well, Lowell Patron Jr. right on the near side. Might be the time for a one-on-one ball. 2nd down and 7. A low snap. Witt steps back, throws right, intended for Strickland, jumps up and makes the catch inside the 25-yard line and down at the 21. Antonio Strickland on a one-on-one ball with Kendall Hillman. The Rams wide receiver won that matchup. 1st and 10 for Bluefield.
And there's the Antonio Strickland we've come to know and love in this Rams offense, going deep, going up, and bringing down those one-on-one balls.
Now for the Rams, after the gain of 25 yards. Can they punch it in here? 4.5 minutes to go, down 14-3. Witt takes the snap on 1st down, flushed out right, eyes for a man. Strickland trying to break free, and instead, Kason Witt is speared down. The ball popped loose at the end. Did he throw it away? Referees trying to make a decision. Did he get that off? Will it be a loss to push them back to the 27? It would be a loss of 6, and it will be.
And Kason Witt on that play, rolling to the right, eyes down the field the entire time, and just gets drilled by the defender.
Yeah, did he step out of bounds is the question as well. So 2nd down and 16, trips receivers to the left. Witt fires for the end zone for Lowell Patron, who jumped up and made the catch. His first catch of the night goes for 6 on a 27-yard fade route, and Bluefield scores their first touchdown of the ballgame with 4:02 left to go to play.
And Kason Witt says, I'll take that loss of yardage on the sack and throw it deep downfield to Patron, and Patron says, I'll go up and get it. And they are 1 score away from tying this, or not tying this game up, but taking the lead.
14-9. Tanner Griffith trying to make it 14-10. It's a good snap, a good hold from right, and it's blocked. Griffith picked it back up, and now he's going to try to run forward, and he will still be on his feet. And now the ball is loose, picked up by Point. They can run this back for 2 here. Skyhawks have it at the 50. Rams trying to chase it down. Lowell Patron will try to make the tackle, and instead it's run all the way back, close to the 26-yard line. To make out that is. Looks like that was Jenkins. That was very confusing there. Rams game of things being down by 5, down by 4 really doesn't matter. So 4:02 left to game. The game PAT is not good. We will take a break here on the Rams Digital Network. First touchdown of the game, and it's a 27-yard dive to Lowell Patron Jr. for the touchdown. Bluefield is down 14-9 and trying to kick it deep now is Tanner Griffith. It's got at the 15-yard line, going straight up the middle is Marquez Jackson, who has a decent return close to the 45-yard line at point. And now the Skyhawks with a couple of first downs can make Bluefield call a few timeouts here, and it's going to be tough for the Rams. They need a touchdown to try to take the lead. But going back to that last drive, especially the touchdown, that's exactly what Bluefield has done all year to find the moderate success that they have. Throw the ball to Antonio Strickland and throw the ball to Lowell Patron Jr.
And that's really what Bluefield does well, throwing the ball deep downfield and letting their talented receivers go up and get it. And like you said, Strickland and Patron making their names known on that drive.
14-9, point leads as they have the ball at the 45-yard line. Can Derek Bellard ice this Rams comeback? Michael Everett right off of the edge. The sophomore from Alexandria pounding the running back in the backfield. It'll be a loss of 2, 2nd down and 12 as Williams had nowhere to go.
And Michael Everett making an impact in this game, tackling the ball carrier behind the line of scrimmage. The Rams missed him last week. They are glad to have him back in today's game.
So Point now has to work on 2nd down and 12 from their own 43-yard line. Rams sure did miss him last week. That run offense was not there. It's been improving in this last game of the season with Everett back in. Clock is ticking down to 3:20. Another delayed handoff to Williams on the right side. And you guessed it, Michael Everett combining with DeMarcus Wimbush, wrestling him down for a loss. They'll spot him down at the 41. Another loss of 2. 3rd down and 14 for the Skyhawks. They've only gone backwards.
And Michael Everett heating up at the best time possible here on the Rams defense. DeMarcus Wimbush steady all night, getting in there on that tackle, and the Rams defense doing what it has to do.
Timeout called by the Rams. 3rd down and 14 from the 41-yard line of the Skyhawks. Point has a decision to make. Will they come out, try to gun it to get the first down, or will they run it to give Bluefield a chance to try to go back and score? Down 14-9 when we come back. Third down and 14 from the 41-yard line of Point. Skyhawks going left to right. They have to get it close to the Bluefield 45 to keep this drive going. Rams are down 14-9 with 3:08 left to go in the game. Michael Everett already has 2 tackles for loss on this drive already. In the backfield is Bellard. Running down the play clock to 5, now 4. Clock is stopped at 3:08 though as Bellard takes the snap. Looks to throw, dumps over the middle. It's tipped and almost intercepted on the deflection. The tight end and Chris Watts nearly picked it up, but hold on a second. Another flag back at the 34-yard line.
And another flag back at the line of scrimmage. And this is a big call coming up.
Will it be against Point or against Bluefield? And it's a holding call against Point. Penalty is declined, 3 and out, the best time for it, and the Rams are going to get the ball back here. Punt opportunity ensuing for Ned Avies, and Theo Black ready to return this.
And the Rams getting the ball back here, and this is the most momentum they've had in tonight's game, scoring on that last drive and having that defensive stop there.
It's a good snap to Avies. Rams bringing the dogs. Nearly blocked it as Devin Carter jumped out. It's a bad punt that sails without spinning on the near sideline. The referee walking up. Where will he spot it? And he points first down at the 42-yard line. Rams have 58 yards. They need a touchdown with 2:57 left to go, and they have 2 timeouts. Point with all of their timeouts left.
and the Rams starting with good field position. We'll see if some of what they did on the last drive with the long throws carries over into this drive, and they need to get points on this drive. It's crunch time here for the Rams.
2:57 left to go on the clock. Rams have 5 turnovers, but somehow have a chance to try to win this one. Senior Day, last game of the season. Rams 4-6 and Point 2-8. With the gun on first down, looks to throw, drops back, fires right. It is bobbled and dropped by Theo Black. It was a high throw to Black. He turned around at the 48, went off of the senior's fingertips, and the young man from Florida couldn't come down with it. 2nd down and 10 now from the Rams 42.
Yeah, that ball was a little bit high. It looked like he had it initially, but it came free as he went towards the ground, and the Rams will have another shot at this.
Only ran down about 4 seconds. 2 minutes, 53 seconds left to go in the game. The point crowd, as well as the point sideline, getting pretty loud. 2nd down and 10 from the gun. Kaysen Witt running to the right, bumps out of a tackle. Here comes a flag, throws it right. It's caught by Strickland for the first down, and he spun out at the 49-yard line. Forward progress should give him the first down, though, but a flag is back in the backfield, and Josh, I think this one might be coming back.
Yeah, another flag, and like we said in the first half, seems like anytime something goes Bluefield's way, there's a flag in the backfield, and that's really going to hurt. Again, Strickland coming back for that ball like he did earlier in the game.
It's going to be a holding call here against the Rams. Jordan Bailey.
78. Offense.
And no, it won't be on Bailey. It'll be on Joe Hayner. So it's going to be a repeat 2nd down, but now 2nd and 20.
And that's going to make this drive for Bluefield that much tougher to move the ball down the field.
So instead of it being at the 42, they're back at their own 32. They have to get it up to the 48. Witt in the gun. 3 receivers, bunch to the left. Alex Martin, the running back. And now play resumes. 2:43 left to go. Witt back to throw. Dumps it left. It is dropped by Lowell Patron. Very tough pass for him to try to catch. Zach Johnson bringing the defensive pressure, the cornerback. Now it's 3rd and 20. Bluefield definitely in 4-down territory here. Down by 4, or rather down by 5 at 14-9.
And that was really good pass defense on there. Kaysen Witt threw it in the one place where the defender couldn't catch it, but unfortunately, Patron could not catch it either as it falls to the ground.
Now it's 3rd down and 20 from their own 32-yard line. Rams have 5 turnovers. Still finding a chance to drive down the field. 3rd down and 20, 2:38 left to go in the game. Snapping the shotgun, Kaysen Witt steps back, throws far sideline. It is caught by Antonio Strickland. Stumbles across the 40, breaks a tackle at the 25, cuts back middle at the 20, spinning still as he's dropped down at the 18-yard line. Antonio Strickland, the sophomore from Jefferson Park, Georgia. That's definitely the play of the game for the Rams, and now they are in business inside of the red zone.
And who else but Antonio Strickland? He's been making plays like that all season, and when the Rams need it, he provides it here late in the 4th quarter, trailing.
Clock is rolling down at 2:15. No flag. Antonio Strickland nearly pushed off there as Kaysen Witt drops back. Throws for the end zone near side. Patron jumped up and it went right through his hands. That just seemed like the play that was going to do it, Josh, but it stops the clock. 2:06, 1st and 10, turns to 2nd and 10 from the 17-yard line.
And that play was really familiar to Patron's first catch in the end zone for a touchdown. They tried to tie it up again, just didn't work out that time, and we'll see what the Rams come up with here on their 2nd try.
14-9 the score. Point leading by 5. 2 minutes and 6 seconds left in the season. Witt is ready in the gun. 2 receivers left. He takes the snap. Back, throws right. It's caught by Strickland as he slips up close to the 10-yard line. It'll be a gain of 7. 3rd down and 3 for Bluefield.
And this is a really crucial 3rd down. They need a touchdown here or they need a 1st down. They cannot take this. They're definitely in 4-down territory, though.
Absolutely. 1:45 and counting. Point with all 3 timeouts. Rams trying to score with not enough time left on the clock. 2 running backs in the backfield, and Bright and Martin. 3rd down and 3. Witt back to throw. Dumps it left in. It's too low. Intended for Theo Black. He had to dive back at the 5-yard line, and now it all comes down to this. 4th down and 3 from the 10-yard line. Rams down by 5 in the final game of the season, 14-9.
And we'll see what the Rams come up with here. They might throw it to Strickland, but I have a feeling they might try to run it with Kaysen Witt as well, as they've had success with that on third and fourth down today.
4th down and 3. Kaysen Witt might need to get it done with his legs. And now a timeout called by Point. Minute 32 left to go in the game. Rams down by 5. We're going to keep it live here on the Rams Digital Sports Network. Trying to look for the play of the game. Bluefield coming down to an exciting finish against the Point Skyhawks to try to end the 2018 season on a good note. Now both teams with losing records, but still for the Rams looking for their 2nd straight win against a Point team and doing it in theatrical fashion. It has not been a pretty game from the start, especially with all of these offensive woes, the low snaps, the fumbles, the interceptions, but still Rams giving themselves a chance because of the sheer tenacity of the defense and Antonio Strickland, his 2nd big game in a row.
And it looks like on this drive and the last drive, the Rams offense is finally heating up. The quick start has been an issue for the Rams all season. They were slow starting against Cumberland, slow starting against Union. Last week, it took them a little bit to put points on the board, but it looks like they're finally clicking here late in the game, hopefully looking to put some points on the board.
Rams are returning to the field. 4th down and 3 at the 10-yard line. The clock is stopped at a minute 32 left to go in the game. Rams ready. Point back out onto the field. They called a timeout. They have 2 left. Rams with 2 left. Play of the game coming up. Alex Martin and Bright joining the quarterback in the backfield. Noel Patron Jr., Theo Black positioned on the left, and Antonio Strickland, the receiver on the far side all by himself. Snap on 4th down. Witt back to throw. Flushed out right. He's under pressure. Throws it for the end zone. It is incomplete. Point with a 4th down stance, and they get the ball back on downs at their own 10-yard line. Witt had nowhere to throw to, nobody on the end of it, and the ball just went out of the end zone to end Bluefield's chance on that drive.
And a lack of protection there causes Kaysen Witt to roll out to the right. Still no one there. Lobs it up to the end zone, not really close to receiver, and it looks like Point's going to get the ball back here.
Well, Point can't line up in victory formation yet. Rams do have 2 timeouts. Trying to force this ball back to him. Point can't make a big mistake here. 3 receivers to the right. Minute 26 left to go in the game. Rams do have 2 timeouts. Bellard in the backfield. Kolb showing blitz, as is Michael Everett on the far side. Bellard taking his time. The clock is not running, but the play clock is now down to 5. It's a snap and a handoff to Williams straight up the middle. He's going to chug along and get the 1st down. That might be the ball game. Up to the 23-yard line. And this, for Bluefield, has to be one of the more frustrating games of the season. Timeout called by the Rams to stop it at a minute 19.
And you got to think that the Skyhawks are going to run one more play, use that last timeout, and then they can get into victory formation and run the rest of the clock down.
Rams had a chance. 4th down and 3 at the 10-yard line. The one pass to Noel Patron right there at the end slipped through his hands. Bluefield just missing an opportunity. And now it, more likely than not, unless the Rams are able to cough this ball up here, they'll go to 4-7 on the season.
And this has been a hard-fought game by the Rams. There's been a lot of turnovers in this game, but they pulled it over the end and at least made it an entertaining game. They really fought hard, going for every yard, every inch, but they came up just short on that last 4th down try.
Down and long. All these missed opportunities. But for some of these seniors, this might eat at them for a little while.
Yeah, a disappointing game, but there have been some highlights in this season from these seniors. Alex Martin adding a touchdown last week. Kaysen Witt showing out in the last 3 games for the Rams. Been a really hard-fought season for the seniors. This is going to be a rough game for them to handle, but they've done a really good job here in 2018.
1st down turns to 2nd down after the kneel. Minute 16 left to go. Ball is spotted at the 22. Rams have no timeouts left. Down 14-9. Bellard under center. Snap And a kneel. That's going to run the clock down. It'll be 3rd down and long.
And it looks like one more kneel should take care of it.
Clock is down to a minute. Brings him back to the 20. Play clock is down to 25. So they'll take one more kneel and they can just run out on 4th down. Devin Jackson still dancing around. I got to give it to him. I don't think he ever really knows what the score is or even cares for that matter.
He plays as hard as he can at all times.
Bluefield's going to miss his energy next year, that's for sure. Another kneel on 3rd down, and that will do it. Point winning after Bluefield dropped the ball on Senior Day with 5 turnovers, and the Rams just come up short right there at the end of the game. Josh, Rams, a lot of youth. They're going to miss their seniors this year, from this year to next year, but still a lot to build on for next season.
A lot to build on and a lot of young players coming in for next season. The young offensive and defensive lines returning. Tyrese Henry made a name for himself this season. He will be returning next season, but they will miss these seniors.
Yeah, for Bluefield, falling to 4-7 in year number 2 of Dewey Lusk's campaign. As for Point, going on the road and winning 3 of their 11 games. Now 3-8 on the year, avenging a loss from a season ago where the Rams went down to West Point, Georgia, and were able to get the W. So Josh, have to say, man, it's been fun. Gotten a lot better this year. This was Josh's first ever football play-by-play and commentary job, and, well, I'm sure you had fun, man. It's been great having you around.
It's been a lot of fun. It's been a lot of fun learning from you. I've learned a lot this season, and it's been really fun to call these Rams games. I've really grown to love this team while I've been here.
Well, folks, we'll see you next year as far as Rams football goes, but be sure to tune in as the rest of the sports will continue. Got basketball coming up. It should be an exciting year, but that will put a lid on the 2018 Bluefield College Rams season as we say goodbye from Mitchell Stadium. Rams lose this one 14-9.